Hello and welcome to Black Winter Nights here on the D20 Multiverse with myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and my lovely players, the Black Winter Nights. You may notice that we're down Gorstag in an Orthanc. Unfortunately, life has gotten in the way, you pesky little bastard life. They couldn't make it tonight, but we do have, all the way from where he came from, our guest player, Alexander Sparrow, who you may recognise as one of the world's top Trump impersonators. No, I'm not making that up. Yes, that is an actual fact, is it not?
It is.
It is. So he's coming along tonight to play as a one-off kind of character, unless you want to come back, in which you're more than welcome to do. We will meet him soon. I'd like to just mention that he's got a wonderful show at Fat Angel tomorrow here in Wellington, New Zealand, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And it's called Fat Comedy. So that will be wonderful. I've been a fan of his for a long time, ever since I saw his show. He's a really wonderful performer. His character work is like second to none. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen like at least 300, 400 shows at Bats and Court Theatre.
Jeez. And
you're one of my favourites.
Thank you.
We'd also like to give a shout out to our new followers. Knifer84, you're out there. I know you're in the chat, so good to see you, man. I'm glad you could finally make it along to a live. I know you like watching the podcasts. J Hoover, AWP17. J Edgar Hoover, I'm imagining that is, but maybe it's another J Hoover that I'm not aware of. Thanks for following the channel, we really do appreciate it. And Snow Wolf Florida, it's a shame you had to go to sleep, but thanks for supporting the channel anyway, we really do appreciate it. Remember to check out the new show starting in a couple of weeks here on the D20 Multiverse called D20 After Hours, which is kind of just us talking about random stuff. It's going to be more entertaining than it sounds, I promise. But I think those are all our major announcements and such for the channel, so why don't we get into some Dungeons and Dragons? That's what we're all here for on Black Winter Nights.
I thought we were here for Alex. But...
Well, that too, yeah. He's clearly the biggest star we've had on the show.
Yeah. Wait until after stream, we'll boast you a lot more.
What, sorry?
He talks about you a lot more off of stream as well.
Good, I'm glad. It should be.
Alright, so, yeah, Gorstag and Orthanc cannot be here, but the party finds themselves in Black Winter Castle, now named the City of Perfect Gold, with the new reigning King Argon. After, unfortunately, Throman Ashback was slain, the town itself had said that it was a bar fight. However, the party managed to unveil the fact that it was, in fact, an attack by one of the five Lords of Violence, Silencia, the Vampire Lord. The party has recently discovered that each time one of these five Lords of Violence is slain, their king, Nemisae, the Dragon Rider, has been weakened. In fact, this party is responsible for the deaths of the Overking and the Lava Lord, the Ogre King and the Lava Lord, two of the five of the greatest threat to Elisia, Ukast, and beyond. They had found their way to the Zook Institute, one of the mage towers in Black Winter Castle, and that is where we will start this session. So, essentially, you find yourself in a room full of incense, the smell of sweet berries in the air. The walls are adorned to the ceiling with a multitude, a splattering of books detailing the histories of Ukast, Elisia, the 5 points of the arcane, even a few books of world magic, necromancy, vampiric touch, and such. Zook himself has summoned you back to this place. You may recall the room you found yourselves in last session with the giant scrying orb, and the one who was appearing on every channel. Every time anyone tried to scry or look through the veils of time, instead they were met by the image of this dark elven woman, identity unknown, but Zook calls you into the room. My friends, please, welcome. Sit, quick. You yourself are not there yet. I will tell you when you're okay.
Yeah.
Cool. However, Zook motions for the rest of you around the party. Orthanc and Gorstag are there, and they sit as well. My friends, I've been watching as best I could. The channel, it's being blocked. I'm having a tough time, but I saw something.
What'd you see?
It seems I know why it's been so difficult to track the one known as the Dragon Rider, Nemisae himself. I found him.
Where is he?
Somehow, in the midst of the chaos of the realms, the material and the demi-planes, he's found himself in a pocket dimension, a space between worlds. He's built himself a kingdom beneath fabrics of time, right beyond the veil, any sight that we hear, use anything that we possess. This is how he's remained undetected for so long.
How could he have managed to do this?
The power required to step from this reality through the shards of dimensions and into another world is a power that I, until now, believed to be reserved for gods themselves. To walk as a man on the mortal plane requires very little, in fact. But to walk on a primaterial plane of your own, that's slightly more complex. I'm going to do my best. In the next few hours, I have a lot of study ahead. Meet me back in 3 hours' time. I might have more answers for you. Other than that, enjoy the festival. And he goes back to flicking over pages of impossibly old books, and as he turns each ancient dwarven and elven runes inscribed on the page, flick clouds of dust as he flicks through quickly.
Being that I'm from one of the most powerful arcane places, do I
Yes.
know anything of what he's speaking about?
Feel free to roll history with advantage.
Oof.
First roll of the night.
Nat 20.
Oh! Alright. Now, prime material planes.
He rolls twice. He was just showing off by not needing to.
So the prime material planes, I mean, you are aware of most of them.
Yeah.
You do know that the branches of the reality of the Tree of Life that hold most of the celestial kingdoms and the mortal realms is often depicted as a hand. And the subplanes, the Nine Hells and beyond, are often the roots of that tree. However, there has been talk of the arcane, the group known as the Triad, a wandering group of 3 great mages, had been rumoured to be the ones that could flick through realities and dimensions like we flip through TV channels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I know anything specifically about this magic?
You know, it's tied into world magic, which is one of the ancient powers that makes the rain come and such. One of the hardest to master, and certainly one of the highest sought out ones. It's said to be an element of world magic.
Okay. I'll say this to you guys as we leave out into the...
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Oh, hearing them from your mouth is just...
I know, right? It just it sounds like someone else, but you know, it's just I'm also
You're channeling
I'm
the
a
world
very
magic.
good impersonator. Yeah. So there you go. So
As you guys step out of the Mages Guild, you find yourself amidst rather pleasant chaos as Black Winter Castle is in full swing for one of the many celebrations they have here, essentially a welcoming for the new king, King Argon. Now the city renamed City of Perfect Gold. Dain, you with your keen dwarven eyes managed to see those group of miners, the ones that had been you'd overheard in the tavern recently. You can actually see them in a bit of an argument, a bit of a heated debate, closer towards the marketplace of the Perfect Gold City. Zeed. You notice that around here, I mean, you've only been here a few times, but you have noticed that there's been a new influx of people, and you notice this as well. It seems that now the borders have been opened, all the doors unlocked, and welcoming the myriad of cultures from around Elisia. You find a whole bunch of new people, clans and such that you hadn't seen before. It seems Argon has really taken this diversity thing to another level.
well, walk around and introduce ourselves, shall we?
Yeah.
Enjoy the festival while we wait for name to finish. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I'll approach the miners
Yeah.
and ask them if they've managed to find themselves a buyer yet for those illicit gems they want to smoke.
Excellent. As you approach, the most grisly looking of the dwarves is currently talking in almost hushed tones, but very, very, almost violently. Look, my friends, we need to get out of here, alright? This stuff is worth a lot. Now, we could get somewhere so far beyond the reach of so-called kings, we'd never need another job again. You do see that around him are 4 other dwarves. You can still see the remnants of the life of the miner, coal and such, and very thick, calloused hands. As you approach, you go, my friend! Good to see you once more. Brings you to our group.
I hear you've been trying to make a friend. Did you manage to find one yourself?
Well, I'll tell you this. From where we're from, it's not just difficult to find a ship. Seems they're few and far between in the west. Look, you wouldn't happen to have any ways of, shifting a few people?
Could be arranged.
Well, and he leans forward, the smell of blackened ale on his breath, a gold tooth or two shining. Well, my friend, we're more than willing to pay a fair price. You know, gold, gems, or women, if that's your thing.
Yeah. I'll just let that slide and ask him, do you have any friends on the other side who are willing to take up the hospitality?
Well, of course! And he smiles a conspirator's grin. Of course, we've got friends far and wide. His face falters a little bit. Many hands to feed from.
Yep, I'll tell him to meet me in Dragon's Head pub. And is it the morning right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe noonish, and I'm gonna go look around for fate.
Okay.
Oof.
Ooh,
And
alright.
these guys don't really know.
No, we have no clue. We're, you know.
I'm literally the only old school
Yeah,
the Knights
he's
business.
the only-
Yeah, I think you guys got betrayed by her.
Yeah.
And that is your only
Well,
experience.
we got like betrayed.
Yeah.
We weren't even like majorly taken
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
All we know is this person seems very gold hungry. We need to chase them down.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll some investigation as Dain sifts his way through the many marketplaces and peoples of the City of Perfect Gold.
That is an 11.
Well, fate is one that is harder to track. I'll let you repeat that roll in a little bit of time. However, if a tiefling doesn't want to be found, a tiefling, generally is not found.
Yeah, I'm sort of hoping just by asking around, she'll notice that and come to me.
Okay, awesome. Very nice, very nice. You yourself, Hygun Blackhammer.
Oh.
Now, you're essentially leader. You've never really seen him in a position of respect or anything like that. He's certainly the one that's in charge of the gold, at least, and therefore the people that work for your bosses and such. He's just deliberated quickly with another dwarven male who has walked off into the city centres, and you kind of almost cynically watch him do what he's done many, many times as a purveyor of bullshit. But it eventually turns back to you. Anyway, my friend, your job, I hear, there's a little bit of a competition going here in celebration of the new king. Something I think, and he slaps your muscular dwarven arms, your stature might be rather akin to. The fighting pits have reopened, and the first prize is 500 gold. Now, as you know, gold goes a long way. Why don't you go see if you can best some of these champions?
Who do you want me to fight?
Whoever they throw you up against, I'm sure he'll be the less victorious of the group.
Where is this pit? Show me the pit.
I'll lead you there now, my friend, and then to the tavern, I think. Me needs a morning drink. You guys, however,
I love Billy Connolly.
as...
That's great. That's actually really great.
Hilgrak slaps you on the shoulders and leads you towards where the fighting pits are and certainly have been reopened. You guys make your way through the city itself. What would you like to do?
Ask around, see what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what's new? What's open?
Hunt down some,
Keen to check out some of the sites.
Yeah.
Cool. So the marketplace is generally like the main hub of activity in the city. You now notice that not in addition to the stalls that sell jewelries, armors, and weapons, the new group of people that have been welcomed into the city have also had that's selling dangerous creatures in cages, a lot more arcane power and such. People selling gems, which you gotta get a sense that some of them, yeah, they are arcane, and some of them are powerful. Some of them are also just polished rocks.
Yeah.
However, the marketplace is like at least tripled in size, and you can barely make your way through the throngs of people. Think Tokyo, think Shinjuku Station, as you try and amidst the sounds and certainly smells of the great unwashed, you find yourself in a smattering of culture and items laid out before you.
Well, being power hungry that I am, I'm gonna try to find some magic items.
Cool. Roll some investigation as you teeter through, trying to push your way through thick crowds.
Yep, that's a 11.
11. Okay, it takes you a bit of time. What are you in the market for? As you're kind of looking around, you can just hear the chants, the shouts of people. Rings, magic rings, very good, powerful stuff, made in the heart of a dwarf star. Anyone takers, any takers here. And others that are just simply sitting back and waiting and letting their wares do the talking.
Okay. I'll approach. I'm looking for a cloak or a staff,
Okay.
something or other.
Okay.
So I'll just look around and see if I can glance upon it.
Okay. The first thing that draws your eye is a small halfling who is currently hovering above the smattering of items and weapons at their stall, and they're just kind of like just sitting, and you kind of get the sense that they can see you even though their eyes are closed. And as you approach, they simply just say, "Welcome, Zai, is it?
Yes.
Good."
Impressive.
And they open their eyes, and you just see completely clouded over in white. After something powerful, I see.
Yes.
Good. How much you have, or are you willing to trade?
Both.
Good. The halfling just hits the floor as the spell of levitation fades, and immediately they start going through their wares, essentially. Now we have interesting items. Anything you need, I'm sure I can find. And you see this this secretion right from the face of this being, as the eyes just kind of turn to this powderish smoke, and a trail of smoke from the mouth. I see. Yes. And they turn, and the effect is unsettling, looking at someone looking at you through smoky eyes, but essentially they just place before you a small key. I feel this may be of use.
What does it do?
They go to explain the key of ice. Essentially a small mechanism that allows, when placed in a lock, to freeze that lock in place, rendering the door powerfully locked.
Okay. How much?
Well, you know, in the spirit of celebration, I'll drop the price just a little. Actually, you have a lot with you, don't you? Yeah. I see. I'm going to need a weapon. Now, I don't expect you to just hand one over. Information is just as valuable as gold. Arcane enchanters. Where would I find them? Here.
Arcane enchanters. Well, there are a few within the city.
That's good.
Aim for the tallest tower and you can't miss it.
Now that's what I need. Take the key gratis.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And they kind of fade from consciousness, and their hand hangs, but the rest of their body remains rigid and locked in place. However, they slip from consciousness and have gone to sleep.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll walk away.
Dain, you make your way to essentially asking around loudly and often about Fate, the horned one. I'd like you to re-roll investigation.
8.
Okay. Your search turns up nothing of concrete importance in terms of where Fate is. You do hear one or two stories of people being screwed over by someone in games of chance and the like.
Sounds familiar.
by someone that they call the Horned One.
Just people, patting their backside. Didn't I leave my wallet there?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
looking for that.
Okay, cool. The general stories that you hear is that Fate has been running a somewhat crooked card game in one of the taverns. That would be your best bet.
Right. Yeah, I'll just tap in.
Okay. As you and you two as well manage to reconvene outside the marketplace and make your way to Dragonhead's Tavern, you're approached immediately. Well, the first thing you sense is the noise of this place. The hearth is clearly lit. The smoke is billowing from the chimneys, and the first thing you hear as you get close is Dwarven song. We rose and rose and took the dragon boarder's body down. We rose and rose and took the dragon, saying the gracious down. Ah! And the song and such goes on. You hear clinkings of glasses and mugs and ales, and the sound of place swept off its feet by celebration. As you approach and enter through the door, you're greeted with a waft of thick, acrid smoke, that some of you recognize to be Dreamleaf and a bit of tobaccos as well that are burning in this place. As you enter, you find the place abuzz with people clinking glasses, spilling ale, small halflings carrying large plates of food trying to get to tables and such. Dain, you notice that in the corner there's a group of what look like hooded figures playing cards. You guys and Gorstag and Orthanc notice that one of the dwarves sitting at one of the tables is speaking to the dwarven crew that you'd met recently here, the ones that want to charter a ship for a healthy price to get off the island. The place is there's a bard standing on top of the hearth as the smoke kind of drifts past him. He's playing a lute quite vibrantly, and the place is hot and warm. And you guys enter and essentially order ales, I assume.
Yeah.
Excellent. Barmaid run off her feet tries to serve you guys as quickly as you can, and Dain. Ow! Sorry, my foot's asleep. Dain.
Celebration after celebration.
You make your way into the tavern. I assume you're going to go talk to people playing cards?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So essentially hooded figures speaking in what languages do you speak?
I believe I have Elvish and Dwarvish and Common.
Okay. A language that you don't quite recognize, or you may have heard before, but certainly you don't understand the words at least. And they're kind of scattering coins into the center of the table. They notice you as you approach and kind of look, and they all kind of turn to this one person, or one kind of motions, and he stands up and takes a few steps forward. Yes. Wish to play?
No, I'm trying to meet a friend. Have you seen Fate here?
Well, that's either a question for the philosophers, or you're looking for someone that I am as well. Please, take a seat.
Yep, I'll take a seat.
Nope. There we
And
go.
invites them as I take a seat.
Yes.
Fade to black.
The flickering fire dies a little bit and casts a mood lighting across the tavern. This one, let's just say, offered services to us and our men. We may have taken them up on that, and we may have lost one or two rather important items during our, let's say, consort. If you're looking for her, I'm looking for her head. Bring it to me, and he motions to the coins of platinum and gold in the center of the table.
Yeah, our interests largely coincide. But it sounds like you were doing some, perhaps, not entirely above board work with Fate, as she, wants to do.
And you see his demeanor change as he realizes he may have said too much, and glances at your armors, essentially searches for a signet of a king or anything in your kind of kingdom that may condemn him. Well, my friend,
No, I'll lean forward conspiratorially. And
Yeah.
say, I think you've got the wrong impression. Have you overheard the business these dwarfs are involved in?
Well, my ears are always open, especially in the times of taverns. They seem rather well off, in need of help to escape the ever-watchful eyes of their masters.
I'm a helpful guy, but they don't have anywhere on the other end to unload their precious cargo. So I was wondering if you, being a well-connected individual, have such a service.
Actually, we find the fates aligning once more. In fact, somewhere east off the coast, one of the places largely closed to foreigners, the Shadowlands, has opened its borders. Now, as you well know, some of the finest crafted weapons in all of Elisia, and certainly some of the darkestly enchanted weapons, crafted almost infinitely within the Shadowlands. Many a buyer and trader of gold and gems find themselves in the lands of the unknown, as it is called in the old tongue.
It's a good tip. So, in exchange for that, I would like to help you hunt down and slay Fate.
Now that sounds like something we can work together on. And he reaches out a hand,
Yeah, I'll shake it.
and he does. And my friend, I'll find you. Don't worry. If you excuse me, I've got some money to take off these people. And sits back and turns back to his game. To this point, when Hygun Blackhammer strolls into the Dragon's Head Tavern, having just come back from the initial fights for the fighting pit, essentially the proving grounds to see if you're worthy of competing. You return victorious with a place in one of the grand cage matches. And as you enter, you notice that these individuals sitting at one of the tables are the group that your, essentially, Lord Hilgrak had wished to hire. And he seemed to think these people might be able to help him. You see them sitting at a table as well. Gorstag, the half-elf, actually you notice his eyes just lock with yours and he watches you intently as you enter, and his face kind of grows concerned as you approach. Anything you'd like to do in the Dragonhead Tavern? Surrounded by celebration, mead, ales and such.
I'll ask him what he's looking at.
Very well. Gorstag, you guys also notice the look in his eyes as he looks at this person. And it won't mean anything to you two, as you are feeling new, but you understand when he says golden light and nods at that one.
Right.
The party, Dwarf, you break away from your company of miners who go and sit at their regular table. In fact, they go over to the regular table and kick the people off that are already sitting there as they kind of intimidatedly just kind of, okay, yep, we'll move kind of thing. And Hilgrak sits down and orders himself a couple of ales. You yourself make your way to the table where these gentlemen are sitting.
Yeah, so you look thirsty, I'll get you a beer and I'll go on.
Thank you very much. Been a long day at the fights.
The barmaid sees this and puts one on the edge of the bar, looks at you and pours another one, probably.
Someone deserves it.
Yeah. Essentially, this dwarven individual has fairly earned battle scars at this point. Yeah.
Nice.
I did. Yeah, fresh today. I'm gonna down both of these.
Did you win?
I did. I won the Grand Cage Tester battles.
Nice. Yeah.
It's
Through to the finals.
customary to drink one pint for each bone you've broken.
Do they have any of that, like, the
They need
fancy
to know 6 or
stuff
7
at the back?
pints.
Do they have the fancy stuff at the back that, like,
Oh,
makes
yes.
you, like, fall over and stuff?
Oh yes.
Con saves, con saves, con saves.
The Aarakocra of the party, one of the more exotic members, suggests a drinking contest.
Ooh.
Drinking contest. What you want to start with?
Everyone roll a Constitution saving throw. So roll your d20.
Yep.
At the top on the left, there should be in a box called Saving Throws, Constitution.
Oh wow. Okay.
15.
Nice.
Modified 20.
11.
Nice. All right.
11.
As dwarves, we have advantage against poison, which I think is booze, right?
Yeah. So you can roll again and take the higher of the
Oh,
two.
come on, it's not poison.
It is
If that's
literally
higher, that's
poison.
better. If it's not higher, that's alright.
17.
It's not
Okay.
poison, it doesn't get you drunk.
So essentially, the Aarakocra who suggests this
Yeah.
contest
Yeah.
downs one of the ales and immediately starts swaying. However, this
You can say I'm as light as a feather.
Oh!
It's a nice little wee bear pond there.
However, your new friend who sat down downs the ale without a second glance, puts the empty glass or mug on the table, and kind of goes, again, everyone make another con save. DC increases.
Oh, there we go, nat 20.
Alright.
13.
9.
19.
Okay. At this point, the ale and I think maybe just slightly anemic from the fight, you start swaying a little bit as well. The Aarakocra gets a second wind, and essentially
A very early second win.
wakes up a little bit. I need you to make one more con save. Let's see.
Everyone?
Yeah, everyone at the table.
It's a nice little 18 there.
Alright.
Oh, well, that's a 10.
14.
14. So, at this point,
17.
you three are really feeling the effects. Your new dwarven
That's it from me. No more.
you mentioned that the fighting pits have been reopened, and in fact, the current tournament, King of the Ring tournament, is paying 500 gold to the victor.
500.
I don't want to brag, but I'm looking.
I can
looking
make that in
pretty
a
good.
few minutes.
I could lose that in one roll.
Dain, probably you and Orthanc would be the two, if they wish to enter the competition. Orthanc, I forgot to roll for Orthanc's con saves. Made it. Did not make it. Orthanc is like kind of passed out and waking up occasionally to throw in a few words in Half-Orcish, but mostly is drooling on the table. Yeah, if you wish,
I imagine he's got his jug with him.
yeah, of course, his newly attuned jug, which he's just summoning ale and downing it, occasionally shouting racial slurs. As for yourself,
Shouting Rachel slurs?
racial.
Yeah, I know.
Racial
It's
slurs?
about orcs.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, exactly.
Present
So,
companies.
Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rachel slurs. Yeah. Jennifer Aniston isn't a good actress.
What a terrible thing to say.
Yeah, jeez.
Anyway, the fight is in a few minutes, and essentially your new friend invites you all to sit and watch as the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, is this taking part?
We can.
Well,
I want to win 500 gold.
You could certainly enter the contest. Yes. I think actually Dain, you're probably the only one in the party who has met him. The small gnomish figure who runs the fighting pits is back in business, which is good. But yeah, essentially, if you guys wish to go see the fighting pits, it's about to kick off. You also know that Fate, whilst travelling with the party, had often gone to the fighting pits to loot pockets.
She may be there.
Yeah, I'll go and I'll just check out the
Sure.
stands.
Dirty wee wench.
I'm not for all those pits. I'm just gonna watch.
Okay. Yeah.
It would mean a lot to me to have a friend there.
Yeah, like what are the
What? I'll be there, but not in the ring. You know, just be on the
What are
side.
the weapon selections? Can I bring my own?
Oh, it's a fist fight.
Oh,
Yeah, that's-
beautiful! Love it! Let's do it!
Okay, the party kind of, and some of you sloppily stand up, and Orthanc downs another mug of ale from his new jug.
Has he been practicing or is he going to wing it?
Oh.
I'm a bird.
You're
For all you viewers out there.
The party makes their way staggering to the fighting pits as the sun hits midpoint in the sky, signifying noon. The gnomish figure is delighted to see you return. My friend, quick, you're standing, that's good. Quick. He ushers you to one of the doors. Fighting! No, fighting!
Yes!
This way! Everyone else, essentially, he leads you to two doors. The gladiator's door and the door for the commoners. Some of you guys, Dain and Orthanc and Gorstag and Zeed, make your way to some of the nicer seats in the stadium amphitheatre seating around the fighting pits.
I'll keep an eye on my pockets.
Yes, you should. This is a great spot for thieves. Dain, roll investigation as you kind of scan your dwarven eyes across the crowd.
15?
You see at least 300 individuals that you kind of assume are working the crowd at this time, bumping into people and taking the so-called distraction to lift a few coin. You're not sure if any of these are the one you seek, but you're certainly in the right place. You yourself, Hygun, get led into a room of gladiators. You've got a couple of Goliaths, nearly 5 times your size, who are just punching rocks
It's
over...
not the size, it's what you do with it.
They kind of... as you approach and go back to punching rocks. And there is in fact a halfling as well, quite scrawny, but looking rather confident as he
Is he
sits.
taller than me? If he's a halfling, am I a quarterling?
In fact, he notices your approach and kind of just like winks and nods and goes back to just like practicing his form essentially. You're let to sit and stretch and stuff until the gnome returns. Okay, Hygun, you'll be fighting that one. And he points to the halfling. He says, you and you and you. If you die, please make a show of it at least. Aye! And he scuttles out, and the grate starts making... I can't make a great noise, but grinding grate
That's
gate
a
of steel
beautiful grinding sound.
opens up, and you find the light floods through into the dark lit room as you're ushered to step through into the ring.
Oof.
From the other side, another grate opens. The halfling runs around and enters from the other side. As the gnome makes his way into the centre, casts Thaumaturgy, and his voice booms. Wonderful people of Black Steel! Black Winter, the City of Perfect Gold, the name that constantly changes. People of the City of Perfect Gold, welcome to the grand tournament! The champions Raya! The King of the Ring! And the crowd goes up and wild, and you notice some of the hooded figures take this opportunity as the slack is lessened on the pockets just to sweep. Today, the grand matchup from Hygun, the Conqueror. Today, the Swift. Fighters, you know the rules. No magics, no weapons. Last one alive wins. The Grand Championship match commence! And as he puts his fist down to the ground, a lightning bolt echoes from the sky and he vanishes through a dimension door, leaving you in the ring with a small halfling who stands at the other side watching intently.
Very quickly before they start fighting,
Yeah.
I'm gonna find someone to place a bet.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. You find a grizzled, human, bald-shaven head, thick beard, who's got a little pad of paper, and he's quite drunk too, swaying back and forth.
Yeah.
Raise your wish to place a bet.
50 gold on the dwarf.
Very well. 50 gold on the dwarf. On the dwarf. What? Name?
Kai.
How do you
In
spell?
case Oliver forgot as well.
Kai, very good. 50 gold.
Yeah.
Good luck, my friend.
Yeah.
And he slaps you on the back. All right.
There you go.
Just to get your name wrong, and you're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's fine. It's okay.
The halfling waits. Essentially, he's letting you take the first swing.
Just make them feel good.
What would you like to do? The crowd, the amphitheatre seating, watching intently, people cheering and shouting.
I'd like to elicit cheers from the crowd, show them that I've got the home crowd.
All
I got
right.
the advantage.
Cool. Hygun raises his hands to the growing crowd, the surging mass of people, as they all kind of respond in kind, and some of them actually throw gold coins into the ring as well. They're all watching intently, and they're essentially chanting in Dwarvish as they notice that you're a dwarf. Kill him! Kill him! Or Duvak! Duvak!
Can I try to throw a gold coin and hit the halfling?
Yeah, sure. Roll
Yeah.
dexterity.
Okay.
The halfling is just like patiently watching, standing. You know,
Nope, that doesn't. Nope.
Coins flashes past his head and he kind of watches it lazily. Alright. If you wish to begin, roll to hit. Yeah,
D12.
yeah. D20, yeah. And add your strength modifier. So plus 5.
20.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
Nat 20. Oof.
Yeah. So,
Yes,
it goes
strength. Yes. That's a save. So you're making an attack with your fists, aren't you?
First time Alexander has played D&D, so we're going to help him out.
Your
Wait.
proficiency and your strength. So 7. So yeah, 20.
20.
20.
Did you roll a 20?
No, he didn't roll a 20, it's a modified 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's a very strong boy.
So essentially,
Oof.
to the surging cheers of the crowd, you approach this halfling who watches intently, and essentially lets you have the first strike as you go woof to punch. Roll a d4 if you have one, just for straight fist
Triangle.
damage.
Fist of-
The little pyramid, the little,
Yeah, the little- this
not
thing.
the here we go. I don't know if you have one. Here's one here. D4. All right.
Oh.
Okay,
You
that's a
add
1,
that.
but add that. Yep.
So that's 6.
6.
You swing with your dwarven might and catch the halfling square across the jaw, and he turns, and he comes back.
But there's a little bit of blood trickling down his nose.
Oh,
I
yeah.
noticed it.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to be aware.
It's at this point a flash of movement as he just quickly and successfully trips you from behind. He just snakes a leg around the back and pushes you just a little bit, and poof, you fall prone. He doesn't attack at that point. He just goes back to standing and watching. Kind of like climb back up to your feet. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna call it from the bleachers. Talk some shite. That's just the intimidation.
I'm gonna throw another gold coin at the halfling.
Okay, dexterity.
Nope.
Yep.
5.
Okay. Another coin scatter that goes passes by and tinks off into the corner of the ring.
I'm going to shit talk him a little bit and see if it distracts him.
Okay.
I'm going to tell him to pick up the coins. He's going to need them to pay his way to hell.
Nice. Okay, that would be roll some intimidation, and I'll roll against it.
Yep, so that's gonna be your charisma roll, which is -1, because you're a really silly bastard. You rolled a 2.
Okay, so that's a 1. The halfling actually cracks into a smile as you attempt to intimidate this small creature.
I stutter a little bit. I'm a little bit drunk, that's all.
Yeah. He's going to use his action to come and attack. And with that, he's going to hit, and you're going to take some damage. But now I need a d4. There's one. Again, with great speed, he goes from standing to an attack in a split second. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, and he just straight up to you in the chest, and then takes a few steps back, and lazily starts watching once more.
Swallows 3
Yeah.
HP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. The crowd is going wild at this point. The dwarven cheers of kill him, have rised in intensity. And the halfling seems to have carried no favour with the crowd, but people kind of look on with a little bit of admiration at the fact that he's quite quick.
Is it possible to cheat in this?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So I still have my weapons on me.
Yeah.
Great.
The best thing about cheating is that you don't have to get caught.
We'll try and hit him in the head with a light hammer.
Okay.
Keep my distance.
Alright, roll to hit. The weapon on the hilt that you've been...
Oh yeah, so that'll be a net 7, I think. Because your attacks here, light hammer, that says +7 to hit.
Yep, +7 to hit you.
That's 21.
That hits. Roll damage. Roll a d8 and add 4, I do believe it is. So as this cocky little halfling deals a bit of damage...
It doesn't matter if you roll a 1 anyway, so just pick any dice if you're going to roll a 1.
At this point, you kind of just reach... use sleight of hand to see if you can do this without being noticed. So roll a d20 and add your sleight of hand modifier.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's going to be dex. You probably won't be trained.
Good at skill checks.
Yeah.
17.
17.
17. Even the watchful eyes of the gnome that runs this place do not catch the speed at which you lightly grab a hammer from your belt and kind of butt him with it and put it back. Just looks like a regular attack to anyone watching the halfling. Ow! Falters. He's going to try and see... Nope, he has no idea what just hit him. Essentially, I'm going to leave this down to one final roll, as you guys are quite matched. I'm going to roll a straight d20, you roll 1 too. We'll see who wins the match.
19.
Alright, after a battle that rages probably the longest you've ever seen in the King of the Ring tournament, this dwarven fighter, battle-proud and competent in the rings of combat, matched perfectly with this little halfling whose nimbleness is his saving grace. The crowd goes wild and back and forth, as so does the fight. At times the halfling seems to have the best of it and they cheer for him. At other times you've got him on the ground and you're pounding fists upon him. The battle rages into maybe half an hour, till eventually Hygun delivers the final blow into the chest, up in the air, and slams the halfling down. He goes to stand and fails. The crowd goes wild. 500 gold, you can add that to your sheet. 50 gold. From the human...
On top of the 50 that I spent, or?
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
get 100 back.
Nice. Just rolling in the money now.
Yeah.
Yeah, some coin for the party.
Started with like 42, 318. Okay. Easy money.
Yeah. Dain, in your investigations of the shady figures in the crowds, you do find another tiefling, not Fate herself, but one who kind of looks a similar kin to Fate. Certainly a comparable tiefling in this place.
Yep, I will wait till the stealing from someone and red-handed, I'll, grab their hands as they're reaching.
Okay, so Dain, you guys kind of like go back to watch the rest of the fights. There's still a few after the main event. There's still a couple of fights that go on. And in fact, they've introduced a new tournament that starts in a couple of days. You guys overhear this. It is an arcane dueling tournament, where instead of fits of strength, Argon has said that arcane duels will now take place within the City of Perfect Gold.
That's good.
Yeah. Dain, however, makes his way to the other side of the ring through the crowd. And yeah, after watching intently, the tiefling, man, they're good. And they're doing well with their sleight of hand checks. No one else has really noticed what's going on. Is that just kind of like just loosening belts just good one into pockets and kind of stuff. Eventually you just see they've just loosened the gold purse on this person's hilt to the point where it's just dropped and they catch, and as soon as they do, poof, your dwarven hand clamps onto them and they look up immediately terrified. The look of someone who realizes that the gig is up,
I'm going to make you an offer that's going to be very profitable for you. More so than this pouch of gold. I'm going to take that gold and say, turn to the person who stole it from him.
Yeah.
You dropped this, sir.
Oh, thank you, very kind! Here, he throws you a gold piece. Attaches it to his...
I'll thank him and then turn around it.
Yeah.
Hand that to the person who I'm still holding.
Nice. He goes back to attach the bag to his belt and realizes that his entire belt has fallen off. He's like, what the hell? He looks down and sees that most of his items are now on the ground. He's confusedly putting them back on. The person who you're holding just kind of drops the voice and drops her voice and, well, seems that I'm at a bit of an impasse. What do you have in mind?
I have an old friend I wish to reunite with. She's called Fate. I'll gauge if there's any recognition.
Yeah, roll some insight.
That is a... 11.
Okay. Yeah, it's really difficult to tell. This person has been a liar and a swindler their entire lives. They're used to putting one face to the world and thinking something completely different.
Are you sure it's not actually fate?
Roll Inside Arcana again. You.
Nat 20.
Okay. No, it's not fate itself.
Damn, I wasted that roll.
But certainly you get a sense that this person knows something about fate, and the fact that there's just this brief flicker. The fault of it you've seen is you swing an axe and see it connect when the person realises that's something they kind of...
Quite familiar, yes.
Yes. Maybe we should find somewhere else to talk. And she kind of like looks around the rest of the people.
Yes, prudent suggestion.
Alright, you guys make your way back to Dragon's Head Tavern. You yourself, after you're let out of the ring, are met by a chorus of cheers by the Goliaths who kind of slap you on the back and you do your best not to be knocked into walls. They commend you on your battle vigour and all offer to buy you a pint at Dragon's Head Tavern.
I'll take them up on it.
Excellent!
I like a good pint. I might do them one at a time though.
Well, my friend, let's do it. And they all head back. You guys all meet outside the tavern and make your way in.
I'll buy a drink for a new friend.
Excellent.
Easiest gold I've made all day.
Congratulations. Where's my commission?
Oh, well, you're about to get it, and I'll order a few drinks.
Cool. In fact, you order some of the blackberry ale that has been imported for the festival, the celebration of the new king. Some fine ales, dwarven ales. As you guys kind of sit around the tables and do your things, Gorstag, who is a half-elf, a light kind of like goldish armor. You notice some like runes of Pelor, the god of sun and agriculture, on his armors. He kind of just leans forward to you. One of the members of the party, he just kind of leans forward. And says, "What do you think of dreams?"
I think they're a lot of fun. Depends on what happens in them.
And gods. What do you think of gods?
They're a wee bit scary.
Now, this may sound strange. I myself frequently gifted glances, and some would say visions, by Pelor himself as a cleric of Pelor, the city of Duskin. Sometimes he guides me, sometimes he tries to help. He's signified you for some reason. I think you have a purpose here. I know that sounds strange.
Can you prove this fella talks to you?
And he lowers his head and says a quick prayer. And you're not sure if it's the fact that you're waiting to see something happen, and it's the fall of coincidence, but as he lowers his head and says a quick word to Pelor, you just notice a rather lifting in the lights outside the windows. It kind of just glows a bit brighter as maybe a couple of clouds clear away from the sun and beams through. He just kind of looks up.
Okay.
It's at this point you guys all see Zook run into the room quickly and goes towards the party and sits down. Oh, I don't know this one.
He's good.
He's good. Yep.
Dad fighting.
Okay. Well, you're gonna need it.
Oh.
Look. I think, and I'm by no accounts sure that this will work, but, and he reaches into his cloak and pulls out a rather ancient scroll with words. Actually, you recognise this language. What languages do you guys speak?
Common, Elf, Ingan, and Draconic.
Common, Aarakocra, Orin, and Primordial.
No one at the party, I don't think anyone in the party except for you and your friend recognise the language in which this is written. You notice it to be infernal. But he unfurls the scroll. I've been poring over the books. Ancient magics, things, promaterial planes, gaps between worlds. I think I found a way in. Now, I have no guarantees of where this will land you. But these words, said in this place, at this time, should open a small window. Enough to jump through and maybe find yourself on the other side? What do you say? I think I can get you into his kingdom.
Well, any shot is good for me.
Yeah.
What say you?
Heard a few words.
Very well. We don't have much time.
Where do we need to be, and when do we do it?
Back at the Institute. When they had it built, I oversaw the construction. for one very specific purpose. On the roof. It's a ley line, a point where the arcane energies meet. Essentially a channel of energy. It should be enough to pierce you through.
Have I ever sensed this before?
Roll Arcana.
That's a modified 11. 12. Sorry,
Okay.
12.
Most of arcane ley lines meeting is usually used in druidic magic.
Okay.
Essentially, places of great power will be signified by where the channels of energy kind of converge. And rituals that take place in certain places at certain times are generally seen to be rituals involved in deities. The gods will align all the stars, celestial kingdoms, the heavens, the earths in a certain way to allow a certain thing to happen. Yeah.
Cool.
That's all you know, it's an 11. But Zook,
Yeah.
essentially scatterbrained, trying to get this done in the time that it needs to be. Essentially says that if you guys are willing, there is a chance that he can get you to where Nemisae's lair may be. However, he has no guarantees of where you'll end up once you cast this ritualistic spell. Gorstag mentions that he's seen the light of Palor in an aura around your friend. He thinks that he's meant to come with you.
How do you feel about a really big fight?
Yeah.
I like a good fight.
Do you like dragons?
Not personally, but I'll give it a go.
We can change that.
We're fighting Nemisae before he's fully weakened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
Fair
bring,
enough.
He's been weakened 3 times.
Yeah, but not 4
Correct.
Wait.
Can I bring a few of my
that we know
friends?
of.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6-person spell. Sorry.
Is there any way to change where we land? It's no guarantee, but is there any way to...
So long as we're
Increase
not
our chances?
inside
Yeah.
a wall.
Well, I think it should signify a small space. You won't be transported into the heart of a volcano. Well, you might.
Fair enough.
I hope you won't.
I'll take those chances.
Will we be able to see through the portal before we... or is it just like a poof? You're there.
You'll see it a few seconds before you get there. But
that sounds nice.
Sounds promising.
Yeah.
follow. He kind of, with his gnomish legs, exits quickly and leads you back to the Mage's Tower, where he waves his hand, the doors unlock, and he leads you up a series of spiral staircases to the roof of the Mage's Tower, where the ancient symbols of the Celestial Kingdoms have been painted. And the place certainly has been, it's got like these curling spirals on each end that all point and channel energy. Essentially the whole tower has been built in a way that upon the top there is, essentially this small black orb just floating in the center. Gives off a strange feel. It's kind of humming slightly, and in its reflections, if you were to look deep enough, you'd see yourself certainly a little bit distorted by the warping of the light, but almost like watching a dream bathed in candlelight. The flickering images never quite solidify. In fact, an ancient druidic practice at Fire's Silence, the meeting of the druids, often the original rituals were simply to stare into the flames for days on end, hoping that somewhere within the chaos of the wood burning and the smoke that trails into the sky you'd be gifted some kind of glimpse into beyond or past or a combination of the both. The orb that floats, Zook runs straight up to it and just clasps his hand, his tiny gnomish hand around it, unveils the scroll and starts reading an infernal.
I'm going to have him Simon's answer him, or
Yep.
straight on glance, and see if he seems to get like more corruption.
That would be Arcana, I believe.
Yeah, that all seems kind of.
Yeah.
How is a 7?
7. He's speaking the language of the demons, infernal.
Pretty demonic to me.
That you know, the ritual itself does not seem entirely demonic. It seems like there is some kind of thing within their lines of magic that would allow to open a rift between the mortal plane and the other realms. As he chants these old dark words, you initially hear it, on the top of the tower, but then you hear it in your minds. But it kind of almost puts itself into your memories as well, and as your mind recoils in horror, as the memories of the day and the week and the months and the years just suddenly come into focus in your mind, anytime you recall someone speaking, instead you now hear their voices, their words that they'd spoken, replaced by the same infernal chanting. In fact, it seems to take place and take stock of every facet of your being. Back when you remember, you were at the tavern, you were talking to the dwarves, but now that you think about it, those dwarves were just speaking the infernal words which Zook is now repeating. And as you kind of turn to each other and try and say anything, you too are speaking the same words in sync with Zook. As the words dull your mind quickly, you feel your body slow and your mental processes kind of, just the wheels that run are just grinding a little bit. And it's kind of difficult to remember, why did we come, what was... And as your mind kind of softens and the colours around you dull, you're left with this weird palette of like a poem of Ralph Waldo Emerson in canvas form. You just can't quite pinpoint any piece of reality anymore. And as you're kind of, in your mind's grasping at the thoughts of your being and such, your entire life seems to just be this faux story of just these jumbled words. And in fact, none of that means anything. All that means anything is the infernal. These demonic words. And as you focus, you find yourselves completely unable to focus on anything else. And it's at that point you feel your physical forms ripped, and it's like taking a band-aid off every part of your skin at once. You get ripped from this world, from this reality. In self, it tears itself in half. You feel now 1,000 miles away from where you were before, possibly hopeless to ever even get back. And as you tumble and tumble through this horrible myriad of dreams and nightmares, the smoke that chatters and whispers into your minds, you find yourself imprinting physically, like a hand through a sheet, to this other realm. And as you all land, you find yourself in grounds of dark purples and smokes of shadows, these horrible, gruesome trees with these long tendrils that kind of dangle down. The sky itself is just this one grey, shifting cloud, this eternal storm. You see horrible creatures, burning branches, and just this horrible chaos, this horrible noise. It just feels wrong. You're in the wrong place. This is not right. Where are you? What is going on? And that's where we're going to take a 10-minute break, because I need more coffee. Because coffee is good. So, Black Winter Nights will return after these messages, which we don't actually have any ads, but that's all good. Just join us back in 10 minutes when we continuation. If you want to buy ad space, contact us now. Yeah. Your message here. Yeah, essentially we'll be right back. We just want to refresh our drinks and such, and we will be back with the continuation of Black Winter Nights right after this. Hello and welcome back to Black Winter Nights here on the D2 Infinity Multiverse with myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and my lovely players, the Black Winter Knights, and our lovely guest, Alexander Sparrow, world-class Trump impersonator who is here playing Hygun Blackhammer, the Dwarven Fighter. When last... Oh, wait. New followers. Yay. I always love doing this. This is always good. Crazy Russian 17. Cool. That sounds a little bit like a username you'd use if you were trying to catfish people into paying for a ticket for you to travel around the world, but hey, I'm not judging.
He joined the Discord too.
And you joined the Discord. Oh, awesome. Well, welcome along, Crazy Russian 17. Nice
He
to
always
have-
struggles with these, and I don't understand it. It's a simple thing.
Titan Forged. That's cool. I wonder if you mean Titan as in that game that rivaled Diablo 2. Does anyone Titan Quest?
Yeah, no,
that was a good one. And Boiled Cat. Now, I love animals. I don't think you should be boiling cats, but I'm not going to judge because, you know, I used to deep fry dogs, so it's all good.
That was
Wait, hold on. What? We're gonna have a long conversation after this.
As we do after every stream.
You know who Boiled Cat is?
Who's that? Oh,
Katie.
Cat.
Katie.
Katie!
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for following, Katie. That's awesome. I've met you before. Yes, I know you. Cool.
It's
awesome.
a person.
It's a real thing. Woo!
Not just a name on a computer.
See,
Yeah.
we don't pay for our subs here.
We big.
Yeah, we beg and get celebrity guests on the show in the hopes that
And then
someone
they bring people.
Yeah.
And then they never come back.
Anyway, let's get back to this episode of Black Winter Nights beaming out of Wellington, New Zealand. The party last found themselves through the demonic, it seems, teleportation powers of Zook of the Zook Institute. They'd been ripped through the veils of time and reality and found themselves seemingly in the pocket plane in which they were destined for. Looking around, where you currently are, immediately, well actually everyone roll perception, let's see how much you can see.
Is Zook with us?
No, Zook is on the other side of the portal.
16.
19.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Plus
that's
3.
without modifiers.
So 18.
Oh, wow.
Plus 0 for perception. 19.
18.
Alright.
Oh, nice. Good on you.
6.
Only a little less than me.
So you guys notice the orb.
I got a
is-
plus as well.
The orb itself is floating in the centre of you guys. It seems to have also crossed the plane. It remains fixed in place. Looking around, the first thing you notice, Orthanc and Gorstag are not with you. They were there when the ritual was cast. They have not landed with you on the other side. You're not sure where they are.
Have we landed on the other side yet?
It looks like it, yes.
Alright.
Is Zook there?
No, Zook has remained on the other side of the portal.
Yeah, Zook said it was 6 people.
Yeah.
And it was like us 6.
Do I think I know how to get back?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, well, looks like we're here for a while.
You're not sure. You're honestly not sure. You're not sure if you need to find a scroll of teleportation
We
or,
just
or
touched
what.
the orb? Or...
Well, the orb itself is just floating
Let's
in the air.
let's go deal with our current problem and then the other ones.
Okay.
I mean, a good escape route is a good escape route.
So now the place in which you find yourself, there is no sky so much as these endless horrible dark clouds that kind of shift in colour. Occasionally lightning will strike from them and the sounds, the echoing...
Know where we are? The UK. There you go.
In Bristol you find yourselves.
What hit?
Oh my god, this is worse than the Night Hells.
We got pumps in the north.
We're in Ashburton. Anyway.
In the gargle. Hey.
No! We're not insulting him for cargo. Everyone
No.
else is fine.
You do find
Yeah, there
yourself
we go.
seemingly in another plane, and the fact that you're met with a rather alien world around you. Also, one of the most concerning things you notice immediately is raining from these clouds is not only this pelting rain, but occasional snakes that drop, hit the ground, and then slither away. Dain, this actually rings a few bells. In some of your paladinic,
Paladinic, yeah,
that's a
works.
word, that's a
yeah,
total word.
Sure.
Studies, you'd heard of a place called the Eternity Storm, which was essentially nightmare come to life in the form of, elemental magic. And in the books it did speak of snakes raining from the sky.
I'm kicking myself that Sugar's not here to enjoy all the good snake company.
Nice.
Are the snakes poisonous?
Yes, they look quite poisonous.
Are they quite big?
Yes, yes. In fact, they're kind of as they hit the ground, they slither towards each other and are forming small pockets, small swarms of snakes.
That's cool. All we have to do is not eat them.
Sorry, venomous.
That's not a snake.
We're all about semantics here. Sorry, I'm just going to replace like some. Here we go. Some stuff. The other thing you guys notice in the current area which you find yourself are these horrible trees that have almost like these tendrils of like black bone instead of branches. They're kind of like lingering and shaking in the midst of the storm. And about 50 feet away, you can see these hooded, what look like cultists that are wearing like very like similar symbols on their robes. And they're all talking in this like excited tone of, to serve our Lord, that's all we need, everything will be fine, all we have to do is do what he wishes, and he will reward us greatly. It's such a wonderful thing to be here, in this place of history, to be able to be part of the grand armies. We'll take the world, and he'll reward us when we take the world. What would you like to do?
Reward them with arrows.
Slithering groups of snakes, these little masses are kind of horribly moving, like almost like octopuses across the ground.
I'd like to see if I can talk to the snakes and get them to move towards these little culty figures.
Okay, the dwarvish character kind of takes a few steps towards the snakes, who respond in kind by hissing, and one or two rise themselves up from the group and kind of fix their eyes upon you. I'd say roll animal handling to see if you can get them to follow.
15.
You essentially point them towards the group of fanatics. And they kind of think to themselves, in that kind of primal awareness state, that thing looks delicious. But then as you point them over, they kind of go, but there's more of them. And the swarm starts snaking their way towards the cultists, who, all we have to do is fuck off, and they kind of kick. All we have to, fuck off, get. And then, yeah, essentially snakes start biting the feet of these cultists, who then kind of jolt from their almost dreamlike state, pull out daggers, and they're kind of now distracted as they're just trying to stab these moving snakes on the ground. They have not seen you guys approach. There is a fairly large tree not too far that's kind of obscuring vision.
I'll stealthily approach.
I'll stealth up to the tree.
Okay.
What way's the wind blowing?
That would be this way. So it's like almost sideways.
Like towards them or sort of sideways to them?
Alex the snake charmer.
Well, it's essentially like,
Regular lady charmer. We haven't got to that part of the story yet.
essentially, the wind itself is pushing towards, pushing north of where you currently are.
Like towards the mountain? Or?
There's no mountain there. You do see from where you are, just beyond where the storm gets really heavy, what looks like a volcano, but not an entire one. It's actually almost got these carved edges of like digital glitch, kind of not quite in reality, not quite not. It looks like something has kind of pierced its way through the veils of time and is not entirely there. It's about half a volcano.
Right.
And the volcano is kind of spewing lava down its side, and there's these small dwarvish-sized figures in the shadows beyond that are kind of shifting around there. As you approach the tree, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a number. That's a 4.
You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, as soon as you approach the tree, it starts whipping at you with its bone-like tendrils, angrily just pounding down upon you.
Okay. I'm going to... no, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I ask the group a question?
Sure can.
Can I offer to go up to the cult group and offer to call off the snakes if they tell us what's going on, and offer to guide us around the world?
There you go, yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting beaten to death over here. It's okay with me.
I can save you first. We can do my thing afterwards. It's not high priority.
It's fine. It's not like a grapple. You're just getting bad.
I'm just walking away.
Okay,
The tree's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm just walking away.
the tree is not a moving tree.
No, yeah.
It does still trying to swipe at you as you leave its
Just ask the tree to leave you alone.
God. Every time.
Which
Lower
causes
your-
more is that D8 or is that more damage?
I lower my guard every time and then just punt.
So you guys kind of like
I'm sticking around
recongregate.
for the night.
Yeah, essentially the new dwarven person has offered a strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Sounds
worst
good
that
to me.
happens is that they attack you.
Good luck, they're being attacked by snakes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
I'll sneak around the other way while he does that. So.
Okay, anyone that wants to, roll stealth.
Yeah.
Everyone else who wishes to make their presence known, step forward.
I'm gonna roll stuff.
Step 4.
Okay,
How loud's the range?
That's not.
pretty loud.
That's not a good number.
Loud enough my chainmail range?
Oh yeah. But you don't get any disadvantages or anything like that.
Because I usually have disadvantage.
Oh, okay,
So I probably still do.
you do.
From your armor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So that is a neg.
Yeah, so the plink of rain upon your heavy armor does make a rather familiar metallic sound.
13.
Okay. Their perception is enough to see all of you.
You
Uh,
tiptoe about your stomping at the same time.
Yeah. Squelch, squelch, squelch.
They're all alerted to all four of you as their conversations go through. Yes, no, it's one. So hushed silence as they all stare in unison. And one of them steps forward. What? How? Who brought you? What? Fucking son. What are you? What? Who are you? How did you get here?
I'll ask the questions, unless you want to keep beating off the snakes.
That sounded slightly strange. Roll intimidation. Roll intimidation.
They're entirely.
Yeah, I rolled it.
Nice.
Really gesture the shape of the snake, but you know where I'm going with that?
14.
Wait.
Just for the heart of hearing.
I'm perfect at handling those kinds of things.
The sexual undertones of the Adam and Eve story I never quite clicked until now. Yeah. The snake that talk. Anyway, as you approach, they kind of just twitch. They all look like they've had far too much coffee. As they kind of, you shouldn't be here. You can't be here. He's gonna kill. He'll kill you. Last time someone tried, he pulled their skin from their bones. It was rather horrible to behold. Unless you wish to join us, you could join us. There's power here, great power.
Do you not recognize us?
Which,
Don't know.
who?
I want to join. I want these clothes.
How did you guys get here?
There's a room. And they point. They point across a large field of trees towards the centre where the volcano was kind of partially the volcano was to the right. And again, it's really difficult to see here because of the rain, because of everything. Just seems to be the shifting grey kind of shadow. You see a whole bunch of figures, and rather clearly in the centre of this place, this massive obelisk, this tower, reaching far right into the clouds, right through the storm. There's a room. There's a room in there. We awoke. We were saved. The world is going to burn, and we're going to be safe here while it does.
Which world? This world?
No.
The world we came from? Another world? I need you to be a little bit more specific.
Yeah.
They call it the mortal realm. It's all going to burn. But we'll be safe here. All of us will be safe here.
How can we stop the mortal world from burning?
You can't.
Really big fire extinguisher.
Maybe. You can't contest his will. His will is absolute. He will take the world.
Where can we find a man with a really big will?
And all of them in unison point towards the obelisk in the centre. He'll kill you. But it might be fun to watch.
Did you guys choose to be here?
No, not at first, but we're grateful now. We're grateful that we'll live. And we'll be safe. It's really not easy to get anywhere here unless he wants you to.
Well, he must want us here then.
Sorry. You don't understand. You won't get far.
Who is he?
The ground. They call him the Dragon Rider.
If I call off the snakes, do you promise not to attack?
That's... roll persuasion. You need a nat 20 to see they're older than
17.
Unfortunately, they're not in a mood to bargain. We're supposed to kill anyone that comes through.
I guess I'll leave you with the snakes then.
They kind of all draw weapons.
Get your snakes away from me.
We're sorry. Well, you obviously don't mean you too ill-willed, but we're supposed to. And they kind of all take a step forward. Kill you. Anyone want to do anything?
Well, if
Throw a punch.
he's gonna kill us, why waste your time trying to kill us first?
Interesting point. Roll some persuasion.
Wouldn't that be cooler to watch your master kill us? Yay! I've got -1 on charisma. 16.
Ooh, they rolled a 15. So that just succeeds. Actually, now that I think about it, you're right. I'm sure he'd rather do it himself. We'll present you to our lord. But we're not supposed to leave this. We can't leave. But that way. Good luck. And it goes back to being bitten by snakes.
Oh, okay.
The gate, it's the gate of fire. He calls it the Grim. The gate of Grim. You're not going to get that far, though. He'll kill you first. Don't go near the fires, either.
Wow.
Not near the fires.
Sounds like fun. Should we go on?
I want to jump in the fire.
Yeah. Same.
I love not having night vision.
Oh, that's right. Neither do I.
Hey!
It's a shifty, shadowy land.
Can we just jump on that bird and he'll fly us over?
He's not strong.
No!
He's
My
a small
strength
bird.
is 8.
Yeah.
No, my strength is 10.
That's
Slightly
pretty
worse than
weak.
that. Yeah.
It's an average human. But I'm also weighed down by all my shit.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't fly if I'm wearing medium or heavy armor.
Just don't wear armor.
Yeah, and so I wear, like, light armor.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So,
I'm a bird. I don't carry coconuts.
the swirling clouds in the sky are kind of in almost like a spiralic vortex with this dark kind of black light in the center, which is hovering over this obelisk, where the obelisk reaches into. The storm itself is still raging. The rain pelts down upon you, and yeah, occasionally snakes will fall as well. If you guys are stepping forwards, you essentially have the orb behind you. It doesn't move when you move.
It doesn't move. Right.
Right.
So it's like back at the point.
Yeah.
Yep, alright, fair enough. Cool.
See, Alex, you're really lucky because Ollie doesn't always bring out his magic items, but you know, there you go.
When there's a guest on the show who's one of the top 10 impersonators of Trump in the world, that's when eBay comes in.
Plug.
But if you turn up every week, you won't get shit.
Yeah.
Thing like the... Anyway, fuck it. You guys head essentially north. What you assume is north, if any of you do have a compass, and I think some of you might at some point, to look at it, it would just be spinning, and then stopping, and then spinning, and then stopping.
Right? Can we see the gate at the Rotunum?
Roll perception as you guys head through the Eternity Storm.
My D6 says 4, but my D20 says 6.
7.
Just end it.
9 in total.
Okay.
14.
16.
Cool. Some of the more astute upon you see, rather, the Gate of Grim, essentially right off to almost just beyond the point where your vision reaches, a decent chunk of land between you and this point. These grand spiked walls made of metal that kind of reach up in these, like razor wire, but for a giant kind of thing. These horrible spiky gates. You also notice that these things are glowing almost brightly. The rain as it hits just turns straight to steam as this grand gate spans a huge kind of circumference around this obelisk. And just as far as you reach with your mortal eyes, what looks like a gate just burning fire. However, as you approach, you're getting closer towards the volcano. Well, part of it, again, it's only about half, it's kind of just in this world a little bit. What would it be? It would be nature. Can I get a nature roll from everyone, please?
Yes.
Are there snakes raining into the fire?
Yes.
What's the
13.
Okay.
13.
This is not
Very
Fey
nice.
Fiend or Undead, is it?
13.
It's a really classy little whip. 13. Seriously?
Oh, like mine.
No way.
I get
Classy
that.
roll.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not sure.
Fair enough.
Same.
So that was a
13.
It's always 13.
What? No, it's 17
Okay.
plus 3. Nature, right?
Yeah.
Actually, that's only plus 1.
Just trying to impress you.
It's 18.
Okay. Yeah, so you actually do recognise this as being the same volcano, the ever-burning volcano, half of it at least, where you had ventured into the kingdom and the hold of the Lava Lord and slain one of the 4 Lords of Violence. One of the 4 under the reign of Nemisae. So it seems that whatever was going on in that operation or such has been somehow imprinted or magically transported into this plane as well. The creatures that you see around the base of this thing have these large channels of great steel that are siphoning the lavas into these small carts that are then being pushed along. The beings themselves are about dwarvish size, but they don't look human or mortal. You know, there's, I think, you would recognise it first, Hygun, the piles of precious gems that are also being transported from this place. These creatures, I think you would know, are Azes, essentially beings that have been called in creation by a ruler, an overlord of some kind, with the simple task of mining and, yeah, serving their masters. You would know that, but the party would not, but you, from where you are, would know.
Can I tell them that really concisely?
Yes.
I do that.
Yeah.
Hygun explains that these beings are of simple, intelligent construction. They are essentially beings that their job is to mine and craft. They are fine crafters. Yeah.
Like fine or like fine?
Like the best crafters
Okay.
that you would come across.
Do they speak any languages?
I will check.
What'd you say, sir?
Very attractive too.
Yeah.
Both fine.
Yeah.
They speak one language, which none of you speak.
What is it?
Ignan.
Well, I do.
I speak primordial.
I speak English.
You speak Ingan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
No, sorry.
I didn't think
yeah,
anyone.
yeah.
I didn't think anyone was about it good. Yeah, you
Because he's fire.
I'm a
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, roll history with advantage.
Okay. That's a modified 18.
Okay. So there's a few things you know about this kind. They're loyal.
Yeah.
They cannot reproduce. They can only be created by each other.
Okay.
It looks like the lava that's being pulled and taken is for the construction of more of them.
Oh, okay.
That's what.
Is there? Do I know that if they do I know if they are persuadable or if they're completely loyal?
It's not impossible,
Okay.
but very rare, unlikely.
Okay. And they know who is it? Okay. Well, yeah.
Sure.
Sorry.
You guys can see this going on a fair way away. You also do see, just to the north of that, what look like these huge hulking creatures that you kind of go, oh, that's maybe Goliath or an orc. But as you get a better view of just the rotting flesh dropping from the bones of their faces and raising up these half-constructed arms with showing veins and showing muscle kind of torn, these hulking creatures kind of walking mindlessly but with some kind of purpose, ogre zombies that are just patrolling the ground. Those trees as well, the bone branches are everywhere across this plain.
Great.
He's gone out of his way.
Alright. So what should we do?
Spend no expense.
We're headed to the obelisk, aren't we?
If you want.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where they
That's where they pointed.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
where was all the lava going? So I kind of like just dropped that.
That's heading towards the obelisk.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll follow that.
Should we make our way and follow the lava along?
Do we have any way to ride on the lava?
No, but I can speak English, so we can convince them to let us ride down.
Okay.
Chicken munch.
Okay, so the party heads towards the centre of the grand storm. The horrible images of half-dead creatures and the constant fear of snakes and being killed by trees. As you essentially make your way, if you'd like to move stealthily, please roll stealth. If you'd like to pass me those scorched almonds, please do. Thank you.
That's not a stealth roll. Do you mind
Sure.
passing?
A little bit further.
9.
Okay.
It's a little wasted at the moment.
I'm merely
Right.
singing while we're all scuffling.
It's difficult to move silently because in between the trees, it's large stretches of open land. However, the ogre zombies themselves do not register your presence. In fact, it seems like they're not going to do anything unless you get close enough to them to alert them to your presence. They're very dull in the sense that they just want to find things and kill them. But they don't want to look because that's too much effort. They essentially want things to come into their field of vision so they can kill them. But as they kind of head off towards the west, what you assume is the west, as far as if you take this thing as north, a rather unsettling sound of what is like these gurgles and fragments of words. Quite loud. It sounds like there's at least 10 of these voices simultaneously.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Just like someone gurgle.
Can we tell where it's coming from?
Yeah, it's to the west, but it seems to be getting closer rapidly.
Do we see anything to the west?
Roll some perception.
Nat 20.
18
Okay.
again.
Ooh, that's enough.
4.
Okay.
You're welcome, everybody.
You'll tell them the snakes. We'll keep an eye out.
There's so many snakes in my house. I can't see them.
Yeah. So immediately I kind of like stop the party. Like, shit, what is that? And you kind of like duck too close to one of the trees, but not close enough to get hit, but just enough to try and put that in between you and whatever this noise is. And coming towards you as this one kind of blob, this horrible shifting thing of just eyes and teeth, essentially is all it is. It's kind of like forming in a mouth that kind of snaps and then it kind of just goes back into the blob. And it's just complete gibberish that you hear. But it sounds almost like pieces of it are human occasionally. Like, Mary, put the kettle on. And it's coming towards you quite quickly.
No, my repressed memories are returning.
Shifting and blobbing its way towards you.
Does anybody want to attack? I've got a light hammer. I can throw it.
I'd like to see you trying this with it.
Is it really windy?
It's really rainy.
It's really
There's
raining.
snakes.
I'm pretty
I mean,
good.
that
I'm
snake
pretty
might
good
give
with
it
a hammer.
away.
He's good with a hammer.
Alright.
He's good with
How
hammer.
big is it? How big is the eyeball teeth monster?
So it's maybe like 15 feet wide.
I could probably hit that with a hammer.
I used my channel divinity and buff my maul.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Dain kind of draws his maul and woof, with the power of the one king, it bursts into light. Not enough to, give away the position, but kind of just glows woof, and just kind of crackles occasionally with little like snakes of electricity just across it.
How dark is it?
How dark is it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can see in front of you, but you just can't see too far into the
Okay.
distance. You can see the obelisks because that's really like clear and visible, but the rest of it's kind of just murky, like a.
Just gonna ignite the tips of my fingers with flame just to see if it will produce flame and see if I notice anything different.
Burn the air
So
around you.
woof, your flames kind of erupt in your heads. Erupt in flames. Woof. Seems it's not affected.
Okay.
That seems to be your
Cool.
standard spell.
How good is the vision of the monster? Has it tripped over or anything?
Well, it's kind of globbing.
It's
like
a blob.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
wait,
It's
blobbing.
a blob, but it's made of eyes, but I don't know
Yeah,
how big the
yeah.
eyes are. It could be the cataract monster.
No, it looks like
The closer I can get before I...
yeah. It looks like its perception is pretty good,
Stab away.
and that it seems to just be consumed. It seems to have two minds. It's consumed of seek and destroy, and then it's also got these weird fragments of human kind of life.
What's the ratio
What do you mean? Of
between
mouths?
human and
Blob.
kill monster?
Pretty much 50-50. At times it just seems like a beast, and at times you almost hear sentences.
Can it understand me if I speak to it?
Possibly.
Do we trigger everything if we trigger the perception of this eye thing? Does it look like they're all somehow connected somehow?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that means we'll be fighting the blob and everything else nearby.
Oh, right. You mean like other creatures?
yeah.
No,
Like, do they seem like they're acting together?
No.
Okay. Oh, okay.
They are working independently.
Okay. Cool.
For the same
Is
purpose.
everybody else in the group taller than me?
Dain, how tall are you?
About the same as you?
Yeah.
Human.
Because I was pretty persuasive with the snakes. I was thinking if we want to snake round the back, I approach the eyeball from the front, have a bit of a chat with it.
Yeah.
If I get into any problems, you guys are with the status there.
You should get some snakes on them as well. There you go.
Yeah, I'll start cranking and stomping around the side because I cannot stealth. Let's see how this goes. That's a 2 I roll. So how's a 1?
Yeah, we have pretty loud.
He pulls a trumpet out.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No one can see me.
I really enjoy playing the Vuvuzela.
Yeah.
I'll try to stealth the other direction.
I was going to
That's
say,
okay.
yeah, I noticed you. Yeah. Essentially, immediately it freezes, and it's all its eyes turn themselves to
beautiful.
you. How close are you getting to it? Are you walking to it?
Yeah.
Okay, make a wisdom save. As immediately as it sees you, you just hear all the mouths in this blob start chattering at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like what are you saying? Sort of
Yeah.
thing. That is a 18.
Are we close
Alright.
enough to hear it?
Yes, in fact, everyone now needs to make a wisdom saving throw, as the chattering just erupts into the sound of noise. This mishmash. 6.
Yeah.
I got a 16.
Nice.
So
I got a 16 as well.
Okay, you guys seem alright.
Oh
You,
no, 17.
you're a little.
You're gonna beat me every single time.
This is one up.
I mean, you guys are unsettled at the very least. The things are all talking now at once, and they're all speaking different words. It's like a sentence cut out of a whole bunch of words out of magazines and put together in one kind of gibbering mess. You yourself, however, just get overtaken by this horrible sound that is just coming at you from all sides. 1, 2, 3. You immediately pull out your weapon and attack Hygun in the confusion of this thing that has now just clouded your vision and your mind to the point where everything around you looks like this gibbering creature. You cannot anymore determine reality from dream, as it is just surrounding you as the trees, as each member of your party. You just think, oh god, it's surrounded me, what do I do? And you just go to attack. So I need you to roll to hit.
Yep.
It's a serious tab you've dropped there.
That's a 17.
Does not hit.
Oh.
He's tanked.
Oh.
Yeah.
But essentially,
I don't want to brag.
essentially you just see one of the part of the human who just kind of freaks out and just looks around and just
Take my staff and just
goes to attack. He swings at you and he misses.
Can I embrace him?
Yeah,
And then he can't hit me. And
Sure.
I can talk to him.
sure. Roll
Save
strength, roll dex. So you make a dex save. You just roll straight strength.
17.
18.
You go for him, but he's wildly just flailing now. Because in his mind, he's a gibbering monster coming at him. So you don't manage to grab him, but you kind of do shake him a little bit. At this point, the creature's going to attack. Time to roll initiative. Woo!
Yeah, it's just keep going again.
I'm not a snake you can charm.
Box, I think is not filled out. So your dex mod. Add 1.
6.
Okay.
It'll take a moment.
Yeah, I just got to set up the battle cam and such. We'd like to just give a shout out and thanks to Leonard, who pretty much single-handedly paid for our battle cam. Thank you, Leonard. We love you, Leonard. I've got a tattoo of your name, but it's in an intimate place, so I'm not sure. It may just be drawn on in Sharpie, but you know.
He does it every day. Eventually it'll stick.
Okay.
Like the tree.
All right.
Bring them already.
I forgot to erase this after the last battle. Hang on.
What?
Good job getting
That's,
overpowered by the wizard.
Your what, sorry?
Overpowered by the
Oh, I've
wizard.
forgotten his name now.
Can you pass me that marker? No, the one that's out. Yeah.
Reading name.
Cool. So essentially, you guys are surrounded by a bunch of trees. The volcano, or half of it, is there bubbling away, streams of lava, a whole bunch of azers around it. You guys are over here, however. Right, this thing is just going to split into 2, and both halves are going to fight. Where did I put? Did I not bring it? Alright.
What do you need?
What are the halves?
So they're just split into 2 forms. It's just gibbering gibbering creatures, but there's now 2 of them as they kind of pull out. And, okay.
Are you still trying to find the door?
Yeah.
Huh? Yes.
Oh, great. So it's eyeball monster times 2 and you.
Yep.
Yep. Until someone saves me.
Here we go. All right. So,
Which are more than snakes.
We got double stuff.
20 to 25. No one. 15 to 20.
18. And 17.
You rolled the phone.
Well, 6.
6.
Okay.
There you go. Your sword.
And
This would golf up
Okay.
your winner.
This is what you get for having like
Someone's
high
got
strength.
far.
Cool.
That's a great bogey right there.
Okay, let's grab
Birdie.
you and put you on the map. All right. Dain, we're using this one for you today.
Okay.
That is Dain. That is Hygun. This is Zai. And Zeed. Sorry, Kai.
Yeah.
Why do I do that every time? And this is the Aarakocra.
No one knows.
You've got Aarakocra now.
Well,
I can do Aarakocra, I just can't do Zai.
I can do it. I can do somebody else. Don't mind.
That's because of the
yeah,
name.
that was the
I
original
can be
name.
that guy.
And so you must have that X. Spawn next, there you
So, this horrible creature breaks.
go. Yeah.
Ollie, can you
What? I can't take the last one.
Yes, you can.
So, this creature just kind of, as soon as it goes into attack mode, it just splits itself into these 2 blobs. Immediately, the first one is going to attack. It's going to attack Dain. You're the closest to it.
Great.
Oh shit.
So,
I see.
alright. So, it comes at you for a multi-attack. First thing up, it's going to try and bite you with one of its many mouths. Oh, that's going to hit with, 19. Yeah, that's going to hit.
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Holy crap. Sorry, I just looked at the damage of this thing.
Ah! You'll die bravely, Paladin.
Okay. I need you also to make a DC 10 strength saving throw. Are you medium or small? You're medium or
Yeah,
small.
make it.
He's small.
Alright. 23 points
You're
of
small.
piercing damage
I'm medium.
Well,
as the multitude of mouths just dig deep into you.
Huh.
Is that a minus 23?
Oh, because they're like stout and shit.
my entire health right now is 20.
I need you to also make a DC
I'm
13
dead.
dexterity saving throw. After this thing just like morcifully like surrounds Dain, and all its mouths just simultaneously bite into his form, horribly piercing his skin. It then kind of retracts a little bit and just spits at you.
What was the same first one?
Oh, and it recharges. That's a DC 13 dex save.
No. Failure.
Okay, you're now blinded as this thing just hits you full in the eye. This like acid stuff starts like eating into your skin, and you start taking damage, but you're currently just completely blinded. Zai,
The only time Alex is on the show, we all die. Like,
dude, okay, you guys have just started.
am I meant to be attacking like as hard as I fully
You're
can?
bitching about
and
multiple
you need to
mouths.
repeat your
It
save.
spits at you. Might as well come in your eyes as well.
Yeah.
That's 18.
Yeah, you're broken from the spell. So the Zai who was attacking you suddenly just sees what he'd swung at, and he thought it was your mouth, and suddenly instead you're standing there in front of him, and he's just like, oh.
It's okay, I go like this.
You now see this thing just like around Dain, just biting and spitting acid at him.
Couldn't hit you if I tried.
Yeah,
Literally.
my
I
magic-
couldn't hit you if I tried.
You did, yeah.
You should probably do something about these mouths.
My magical wall enchantment wilts at the same time.
Well, I mean, I've tried to sell them shut before, but isn't that a bit far?
I know,
You've only got 6 seconds of
Oh, okay,
conversation.
yep. I will back away, just slightly. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Not
into the
close
tree.
enough into the trees. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I'll cast Fireball
All right, go for it.
on the mouth.
Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah. So essentially,
18.
that hits roll damage.
Yeah.
Zai takes a few steps back, hand breathed in fire. He shoots this jet of burning bright energy towards the mouthing creature.
That is 8 points.
And as the fire streaks across it, all the mouths simultaneously cry out in pain. A symphony of anguish as it recoils in pain. Anything else you'd like to do?
That's it.
Zeed, you're up.
Alright, I am going back towards those dice.
Yep. These ones?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and just 30 within the red dice.
Yep.
And I'm gonna pew 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 pew
Cool.
pew away.
So you see the bird immediately just like scuttle into the darkness behind, pulls out a crossbow. Do you bleed on it?
Yes. Yeah.
Cuts
I'm
his
gonna
hand.
start dealing fire damage. Let's go.
Nice.
10 damage on.
Cool. Cuts his hand, bleeds on his weapon, and as it does, his weapon glows. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. First attack is +8 to hit. Oh, that's right. Because I got +3. 20 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage. He loads a crossbow bolt and his now glowing weapon and shoots it out, which sinks right into the heart of this creature.
5, 6, 7. 7 + 6. 13. 13 damage.
The thing sinks. I just spit on my book.
Just like the monster spits on you.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially,
So that's the one.
the bolt as it leaves the crossbow just bursts into fire and strikes this thing, and again. Sorry, the sound.
Yeah.
Are you going to attack again?
Yeah. Cool. Second hit. That is a 13 hit.
Hits. Roll damage.
Jesus. All right.
It's not real wise. It's not right.
Yeah. No, fair enough. It is just a blob. 11 damage.
Cool. And again, as soon as the bolt leaves the crossbow, it bursts into fire, strikes right into this thing.
And yes, that is a definite hit. I
Cool.
rolled a 17 on the dice.
So you see the bird. You just see like these glowing bolts of fire just from the darkness, from the darkness, from the darkness.
And 8 damage.
And as the last one hits, it bursts into this horrible like goo that just kind of splatters over all of you, and you just kind of turn back, and there's just like melted purple Mr. Globby in a microwave stuff everywhere. However, this one is
Mr.
still alive.
Globby.
Anything else?
No, that's my move.
Dain,
Bonus
you are
damage.
blinded for this turn. You can try and attack with disadvantage if you want.
Oh, I would love to.
Alright, so you kind of rush forward.
Can one of us rush forward and make sure it's facing the right way?
Sure. Essentially, you have to take turns in action, but imagine that you're just going this way, as he runs towards it, and you can get, I'd say, roll insight with disadvantage, perception with disadvantage.
Alright, that's a 2
Okay.
and a 3.
So you just kind of run forward, wildly swinging. Attack with disadvantage, as you're just kind of, and I assume you've got your maul out.
Oh yes, that's a 3
Yeah.
and a
Well, 3's not
21.
cool, but that was disadvantage, so 3.
No, that was I rolled 4 times. So I took the lowest both times. So I actually got 21 on my second swing.
Okay, well the second swing hits. Essentially, as you just backwards and forwards with your maul, essentially just like in a circle. Eventually it makes purchase and hits something. You're not sure what you've hit, but roll damage.
Just whirlwind around for long enough. And
Yeah.
I look down and there's just a blade inside of me.
It's a ball.
So he's just swinging.
It's a
Well,
hammer inside.
you know, you see clearly I knock a blade into him.
Oh,
You could
yeah,
say-
no, fair enough.
You
yeah.
could say then it's a lot more than a blade.
Oh.
Get out.
So does the damage type matter at all?
No, they don't really have any immunities or resistances
So that
or
is
weaknesses.
good to know. 20 damage.
All right.
And I will choose to smite.
Cool.
Oof.
And is it evil? Is it like a demonic
Medium aberration, neutral.
aberration? Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
So I'll add a couple of your d8.
Cool.
I think it is neutral
Sorry. Neutral.
So 25. Oh, it's not actually evil. That matters. 25 damage all up.
25 all up. Cool. So as you kind of swing whoof, backwards and forwards whoof, with all your strength, you just catch this thing, and essentially it's the sound that you hear. It's not dead yet. Anything else?
That is me.
Hygun Blackhammer, you're up. Over here, this way.
Right, I'm going to take a few steps in.
The dwarven fighter steps forward.
I'm going to need to hit him with my battle axe, I think.
Roll to hit. Shoo! The blade comes out from the hilt.
So,
+7.
18.
That hits and swings
Smash
true.
the crap out
With
of it.
great might, roll a d8 and add
Smash the spit
5.
out of it from every angle.
11.
And as Hygun swings this now wounded creature, you just kind of catch it on the side and bring your weapon right through. As you do, the great axe just slices cleanly through it like a hot knife through butter. Shoo! And the top of it just kind of like falls like a whole bunch of limp tentacles, dead, gone, out of combat.
Nice.
Well done.
I know what I'm doing.
Done this before, haven't you?
I'm happy to take one of those.
Dave, I need to message Dave to say we're going back from battle camp.
What?
Oh, we're going back from battle camp.
Already?
Yeah. It was just a small fight.
everyone already.
I
I
smashed
killed,
the
I
crap
killed
out
one
of
of
it.
them,
We're all
and then
dead.
I went and squished another one.
So, you find yourself still in this strange material plane, a pocket dimension.
3 attacks are done.
You're not sure if you imagine it, but it almost sounds like the trees are laughing as they witness this. Just the sound of the rustling as this horrible wind goes through. It sounds almost human, almost like laughter.
They're laughing at the aberrations, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You do now see further closer to the gate another patrol of ogre zombies. Everyone roll stealth.
Oh, finally.
Woohoo! 22.
So it is
18.
17.
Oh, shit.
18.
Every time. I killed the monster.
I'll give you
Hot
that.
knife through butter.
I swung at you, and that's what I did. So congrats.
None of them, they don't see you as plod from plod. They just look at what's in front of them, that and only that. Great mauls and clubs in their hands that look like they can do some damage. They don't see you as they just continue to plod mindlessly around the perimeter.
That was a close one.
It does sound like there are more of these gibbering creatures around, however. That familiar sound in the air of just incoherent babbling.
I'll point one out and say, I know how it feels. That's me in the mornings.
Nice. What are you guys doing?
How far away are the ingen and the gems and things?
Currently they're about 70 feet away from where you are.
Yeah. Are we just gonna follow the lava? Or do we want to go and beat up some more things?
That's a good
We
question.
didn't really choose
What
to.
would we get out of being of more things?
Not much.
They
It's
could-
scary.
We can follow the lava and there may be another eyeball monster.
A lot of gems. Oh, actually, that's a good point. Yeah. So they said he was at the obelisk, right? So we're
Yeah.
heading towards the obelisk. Do we want to just go there?
We can keep following the lava.
There you go. What do you guys think?
Cool.
Sounds like a lovely idea.
That's hot. As you guys wander...
I'm not. I was warming up to you, but now it's just I'm getting burnt.
Yeah.
You don't want to get burned.
Am I still blind?
No, I'd say that you can
I'm not
kind of pull the acid from your face.
Cool.
It does certainly leave like red marks around your eyes.
I have been crying as well.
I
Yeah.
hope you understand.
Damn it.
Essentially, you guys continue your journey towards the centre of this place. The Azers, however, are going to... What was the lowest roll on the stealth?
12.
Alright, so they don't see you either. They're too focused on their work. As you get closer, you see the glinting mounds of these gems. Probably a couple of thousand gold worth at least, that are being mined and brought through from one reality, one shifting state, this island of reality, through to this one. And the lava is quite thick. They're pulling it in these very heavy carts towards the centre. They're kind of smoking. You can smell the sulphur in the air. The trees are kind of twisting into these grotesque, almost like finger puppets that are being played. The ogre zombies come in regular intervals around the outside of this place. But as you move through, the sound of the gibbering mouth is still there. You get towards a gate. In the distance. Wreathed in fire. It's a wall of fire, essentially, with very thick pillars of what look like dragon bone.
Sorry.
No, go.
Is there anything portable in the gold thing we can
Anything...
take? Anything portable? You said they're in a very heavy car.
Yeah.
He can't fly that because he's a weak bird. But I'm just thinking we could pick up a couple of things.
Right. The carts that are being brought into the obelisk are full of lava. that are being used for purposes.
Dwarves have really bad hearing. Sorry, I wasn't listening before. I missed that part.
The,
Full of lava.
like the empty carts are at the base of the volcano, but once they're being the lava's being channeled and filled, they're bringing it to the obelisk.
I mean,
We
if you
could-
want
We could go grab one. Yeah.
an empty cart.
There are a lot of Azer around the area where the
Yeah.
carts are, but it's up to you guys.
I thought the card said gold, and then that's the only reason I was interested.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
So is the gate? Is it almost like a wall of flame? Did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With these pillars of what look like dragon bone and these like claws. Is
So,
the word I was looking for.
Is there any way to get through them?
Well, it looks like to get through you have to walk through the wall of fire. That's not the least of your concerns, however, as either side of these plinths are rather horribly ugly gargoyles, like just these statues, just like, and the flickering light of the fire kind of casts dreamlike shadows across their faces. Also chained to each of the statues are these horribly angry dogs. Dark black fur, but as they bark, this hot white kind of smoke, acrid smoke, and this blast of heat every time they bark. You can actually feel it from about 30 feet away, and they're just chained either side of this gate.
How far? How far away are the dogs and gargoyles from the wall? Well, from the flames.
Cool. So the wall of fire is, or the gate of fire, the Grim Gate, is about 10-15 feet wide.
Okay.
The gargoyles, the statues are either side right there, and the chains on the dogs are about 10 feet each. They're currently pulled taut at both their chains. They look like they're trying to free themselves, and are just angrily snapping and barking.
I can cast Control Flames.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm going to try to basically move the flames toward the gargoyles to see if it affects them.
Okay. What's the range on that? How close is it? to
60 feet.
Cool. Okay, so you can do that from quite some distance.
And it's the reason I was asking is anything that all the flame within a 5-foot cube, basically.
All the flame of fire from you.
If it's not attached to a larger flame, though, isn't it?
I can extinguish it as well.
You just read the whole thing.
So you choose a non-magical flame that you can see within range that fits within a 5-foot cube. You affect it in one of the following ways. You either instantaneously expand it another 5 feet in a direction, you instantly extinguish it, you double or halve the area of bright light or dim light cast by the flame, and this changes for an hour if I choose to do so. And I can cause simple shapes simple shapes, creature, inanimate objects, location to appear within the flames that I like. That lasts for an hour.
Well, I'm
But
guessing
it's a
this wall
cantrip.
of fire is magical.
It's
Yeah.
one cantrip, two if the flame fits within a 5 foot. Like this
Huh?
whole wall is flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fit within a 5-foot cube.
No, but I mean, could I expend the flame within the center of the cube, considering it's 5? Oh,
Well, no,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
all just
no,
one
okay.
flame,
I was
yeah.
just thinking expend the singular 5 feet.
Right.
Yeah.
So this conversation kind of goes on in hush
Like
whispers as you guys are like
orgies and stuff, yeah.
talking about what you can and can't do with the gate. The dogs haven't noticed you, but man, they just look like they're ready to tear things apart as both of them are just snapping at their chains.
Yeah, I do.
You should
Oh,
probably,
no.
you do know.
No,
Not
I-
Colonel.
Ignan.
Ignan. You could try like telling him to sit and shut up
Yeah, could.
because they're fire dogs.
But then we'll be revealing myself to the gargoyles as well.
Is it still
We'll be
raining
revealing
snakes?
ourselves
Yeah.
to the gargoyles no matter what.
Alright, well then. Alright, we'll do that then.
Like, what are we gonna do? Sneak to the firewall and then what?
We could go back, grab a cart, and.
And then drive the car. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
depends where the fire's coming from. All right.
It's a torrential rain.
Yeah.
Torrential rain of snakes.
Well,
Oh,
no,
how is-
the rain itself is torrential. Snakes are occasional, but not
Alright.
like
So,
fairly frequent, but not as much as the rain.
Fire coming from the ground. Like we can see the flames from above. All right, cool. Yeah, if we go and get like an empty cart, we could probably push it through the firewall.
Yeah, so if we manage to grab a cart, we can all jump in, or some of us can jump in and push through it.
And
push
the
it through.
strong guy push.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're Aarakocra, right?
Yeah, what am I gonna do?
You
Fly?
can push and then fly over.
My strength is like nothing.
No, oh yeah, okay, fair enough. No, I mean like push. Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
They're heavy carts, big,
Okay.
big thick iron carts.
So
Yeah.
do we can either I can try to speak to the dogs and convince them to attack their masters, or we can So we fight our way through, or we push our way through, or we push and fight our way through.
Yeah. Can I see where the
Really, you
dog's
were
trying to go?
handling
Sorry?
enemies.
They're just trying to get free. They don't like being restrained.
Right, yeah, we try and snipe the restraints with a well-placed hammer as such.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I can talk to them and see how it goes,
Yeah.
Yeah. or get a cart. It's up to you guys. I'm indecisive.
I vote cart.
One vote card.
That makes 2 of us.
2 votes
Alright.
card.
I'll just go along with that.
All right.
Okay.
Cart
So
it
it
is.
is.
We'll find out if the cart cooks us or not.
It's fine. It's iron.
Another patrol of ogres
Good
come
score.
past that don't seem to notice you guys as you're fairly well hidden in your current place. However, you kind of discuss in hushed tones as you see this grand, rather ominous gate before you with these guardians that seem ready to tear anyone close from limb to limb.
So this gate is before the obelisk.
So
right?
Yeah.
here we go, out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah.
That should have been the title of the episode. That's a great title.
Well,
Anyway,
we can change it.
essentially the party sneaks back around towards the ever-burning volcano, partially transparent through this plane of existence.
Okay.
As you get close, once again, you see Azers going about their business, mining, siphoning lava, and bringing it towards the obelisk. What are you guys going to do?
Well,
Let's-
I rolled an 18 with the stealth.
Okay. Everyone rolls out?
So the Azer just walking through the wall of fire.
Yep.
themselves.
Without beings of fire.
Okay.
11.
8.
10.
You beat me this time.
What was yours again?
Mine, 18.
Everyone. They see all of you as you approach. And they all freeze, and they all look at each other. And in Ingen, you're the only one that overhears this. You just hear, what? Who? Kill? Yes.
I'll say, I'll say, go back to your work.
Okay. That would be
Very
either
persuasive.
intimidation or persuasion. Your choice.
Probably both the shit. Oh no, you're a caster prisoner.
Yeah. So where is my intimidation? 13, I think, either way.
Okay.
Oh no, in persuasion, so +5, so 15. Yeah. Sorry.
Cool. So, for the contested roll, I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, okay.
So, essentially, they just are so used in this plane of existence to taking orders that when you bark one at them, they don't even question it at this stage. They've been programmed. It's like an entire nation of people that have been trained by the media to obey orders, and they kind of just go back to like,
Oh, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold.
and they kind of just snap back to their pouring down the lava into carts and crafting ways of getting it to the front.
Congratulations, Alex. You've also witnessed all these conspiracy theories. There you go.
Anyway, they all turn back to their business and go about kind of hammering into the mountain and funneling this lava into thick carts.
Yep. Alright.
Can't believe
Actually,
that worked.
did you say you can't believe that worked?
Yeah.
If they were obeying orders, can't we just ask them to open the
Yeah.
gate
Can
for
we?
us?
No. We can just convince them to push us through the cart. Push us through the
I like your stare.
through the gate.
So you see these things as they're just worker drones going about there.
Yeah.
These creatures don't sleep, they don't eat, they
Yeah.
just do their
Okay.
task. That's what they're doing.
How far away are the gems?
Haha. So essentially, around the base of the mountain, you've got where all these guys that are they've got large like stone and steel funnels that are channeling the lava as it pulls down into the carts, and the gems are kind of off to the side. They're being loaded into other carts as well, being taken less frequently, but they're also mining for gems.
Alright, I reckon we can convince one of them. I can bark an order at one of them and convince them to push us through the gate. So, do we want to just grab an empty cart and roll with the chances, as they say?
Aha.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Roll the
Okay.
dice.
Can we get 2 of them? Okay, so we've been transported into this world, right?
Yeah.
So we get 2 empty carts. We
Yeah.
get one of them to fill one of the carts with us and push us through the gate.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
We get another one to fill one of the empty carts with jewels and go back to where we got transported into our world.
Should we do?
Wait for us on the off
What
chance that we
jewels?
get there. The gems.
Oh, right.
Let's do it. I reckon.
Check that.
Alright. Okay. So I'll approach. How are they moving up to the carts? Or do they have carts returning, or are they
So
just?
essentially, there's a line of them that are waiting. The other ones are pouring the lava into the carts and loading the carts with gems. and then they just motion for one of the people in the line who just walks forward, clamps hold of the cart, and pushes it towards
Okay.
them.
I'll
Are they on track?
Kind of. There's a path that's been made by the repeated.
Right. So they're just like 3 wheels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. I'll move up to the beginning of the line. I'm assuming that they're just going around me after they recognize me. That I bark and all.
Yeah.
I'll just move up to two of them, and I'll say, "You two, grab the carts and come with me."
Okay. That is another.
That's a nat 1.
Beautiful.
The second time you bark an order at this thing, it immediately clicks and goes, "Wait! That's not who usually tells me what to do." He turns to you, and he goes, "Men!" And 2 of the other ones that are working will turn to you as well. They make their way towards him, and they now stand in a line. He pulls out a warhammer from his thing, points it right at you. Looks confused. "What? Who?"
Your master's lieutenant.
"Men, kill!" And they start stepping forward. Once again, we need to roll initiative.
Oh, okay. Alright. Congrats, guys.
It was close. It was close.
Are they okay? I'm assuming that I can speak the language I
Yep.
know of these creatures.
Yep.
Right? Do I know if they're immune to fire?
That's good.
Roll.
Two.
It's not a skill.
History.
Oh, it's not.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But you had one.
That's
dex.
a
Oh, okay, so 2.
14.
Yeah, that's the-
Okay.
that's where it
Yes,
should
you
be
do.
written.
And
They're
yes, they are.
immune.
Yeah.
So put it down there, and then initiative.
1.
Okay. Alright.
So it's
That's what you get.
That's what I get for only going.
You nearly did it. You nearly did it. It was a good plan. It was a good plan.
It was very close.
Okie dokie. So essentially, you guys find yourself at the base of this volcano, standing around like this. There are 1, 2, 3 of the guys that have broken away from the jobs that they were doing to attack you. 20 to 25.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Nope, that's not me. Oh,
Okay.
no.
15 to 20.
Initiative. So you gotta
Initiative.
roll the d20 and then add your initiative.
So add plus 2.
Oh,
18.
18.
so it's 3. Do I?
No, well, that's a 20.
What?
I literally just
So-
let the dice fall out of my hand because
And that was a 20.
yeah, 8.
8, sorry.
I got 2.
2. Dang.
Nice.
Then it's 6.
6. Holy crap. Okay.
Wow.
Single digits, the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, now I got confused. 5 to 10.
8. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, 6.
6.
Who's got the higher dex? Probably.
I got. Oh, wait.
What's
Did I
the
say 6? I meant 2.
2? Alright.
So you're very similar numbers.
6. One of these guys got
I had
6.
6 last. I think he had 6 last.
Then it was Hygun
Numbers.
2, and then it
It
is
don't
the
matter.
last
He just
guy.
like shrug and look at the screen and make the
With
joke
1.
face.
All right. So first in the top of the initiative is the guy who's got his weapon trained on you. They're over here. So he's just gonna, as soon as he realizes, wait, something about this is not right. And so he just kind of looks at you and goes, "All right, time to kill." That's his other, that's his other mode.
Yeah.
So he pulls out his warhammer. He slings it.
It's a euphemism.
that's a 10, which is not going to hit. This thing, though, as it comes close to you, woof, the arcing the speed at which he swings it past you, you feel the heat coming from this weapon. It is brightly heated metal. If it hits, it's going to hurt. That's all he's going to do. He just shouts an ingot, "Kill, kill now, reward later." And they kind of arrange themselves. However, Zeed, with your bird-like impulses, whew, you immediately realise, now is the time to attack.
Yes. Calm. Cool. That's still technically doing fire damage with the 1d4, but I'm not going to roll that. 'cause
Cool.
I'm immune.
Yeah.
So that's a 22 to hit.
Which one are you hitting? Just out of curiosity.
Good question. The one closest to everyone.
Cool.
I don't need to be melee.
Oh, you're using range weapons.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
I just pew pew
Cool.
from around the corner.
The rest of them, like, there's a whole group of these guys around you, by the way,
Yeah.
but they're just going
I'm
about it.
trying not to, walk into their path.
Cool.
But yeah, so that one, yeah. First
That one?
first
T. Alright,
Yeah.
go for it.
Alright, so that was 22 to hit, so d6 is 6 damage in total.
Okay.
Second attack is 15. Yes, 23.
Hits. Or damage.
8.
Go.
And 10.
Oh, nice.
Does
Wait,
10 hit?
to hit? No, it does not. Sorry, I thought that was 10 damage. So essentially, again, you witness the bird fly backwards. Did you cut and bleed on your weapon?
No, I mean, it's still
It's fine.
technically on fire.
On fire, right?
Yeah.
So his flaming crossbow is just
It stays
Loads.
alive.
loads.
Sheep.
These three things just and whoosh past him. Kill him. Anything else?
No.
Zeed, Zai, you're up.
Yeah.
Over here, right in front of this guy.
I'm going to. Oh wait, what? Oh, no, it doesn't go. Okay, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
Yeah, and just say disobey and die.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that would be more intimidation.
That's 16.
Okay. This time he falters. He considers. He doesn't attack. You kind of cast this thing, this bubble of protection. This shell just presents itself in front of you. Limiting damage, or does it up your AC? Or?
Up my AC, so it's 13 plus Dex, which
Cool.
is 2, so
Is that
it's
what you're
15.
doing? Alright.
Yeah.
You now stand there a little bit more confident, a little bit stronger. Dain, you're up.
Alright. I'll
Yeah.
strike 4.
Yep.
If you're
Yeah.
4 on the hit,
Fair
you roll great more.
Plus the-
Roll to hit.
That is a
Well, it was like
24.
That hits, roll damage. Dain steps out and just brings his warhammer down in a swoop. His maul.
No, it was like 12, and I was like,
Yeah,
9
damage.
9 damage.
Again, I do some fire, which is not doing that one a lot.
Does
yeah.
nothing. Cracks into his shoulder. You hear bones breaking.
Ooh. Does he have bones?
But only once per day.
Yes, well, kind of.
So, like,
Well, no, you see
that's
like
not considered will matter.
like armor, like iron kind of
Wow.
skin, kind of fracture.
That's rough. Like bleeding fire and shit.
Yeah. Is that your turn?
How many attacks are all? No, I think I need the second one.
Yep.
And that is at 17.
Oh, 17 just hits. Roll damage.
That is a 14 damage.
Cool. So this time, as you bring the weapon back, so essentially come down to his shoulder, shatter his form a little, bring it back, cast into his chest. The sound of metal on metal reverberating and echoing as the second strike hits. Anything else?
Just give him a nasty look.
All right. The guy behind him is now going to attack, and I'm going to roll for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. 1, 2, 3. That would be Mr. Zai. So. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Dain, you need to take some fire damage for being 5 feet within him.
Brilliant.
Sorry, let's remember that. I think that's right. Yep, 5 points of fire damage. Zai.
Yep.
The guy brings out his warhammer. That is 13. It does not hit.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
But again, the heat of this thing
Yeah.
as it swings past you. That's all he's doing. Hygun, you're up. Over here.
Which one's closest?
Closest to you is this guy here, who's currently being attacked and attacking these guys.
Right, what are the other two doing?
They're behind. They're also attacking. Like one of them is attacking him. He's not done anything yet.
Right, so the one in the front is being attacked by the rest of us.
Yes, and he's looking pretty on his last kind of legs.
Right, I'll go for the guy behind him.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up with a battle axe.
All right. So your new dwarven friend like rushes forward, comes across, swings, and
Which one do
Your attack.
Yeah.
Oh, right. 18.
that hits. And as you swing, metal on metal, roll damage. D8.
Oh. No,
It's a
it's
D10.
that-
It's the pointy.
Oh.
So yeah, you're 5. So 12. Yeah, you're looking at my place actually.
12.
Cool. This guy here, right? Awesome. So he's not taking any damage yet, but he takes 12 points of damage. You take 1 point of fire damage just from being close to him.
Yeah, that's right.
So 12 is...
I'm just nuked by that. That's spat in my eyes.
Yeah. The sound of metal on metal as this thing, like cracks just appear across his chest. It's not dead, but it's taking some damage there. Is that your turn?
Can I take another
You
sword?
can. You've got extra attack, so yep.
Yeah,
Roll
right.
again.
I'll
Roll
go
again.
for another attack on the same one.
Alright, and swing back in another arc.
So that's 20. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
Plus 7.
Oh, 7.
Because that's your attack.
Yeah, so
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
20,
Yeah.
22.
22.
That hits, once again, roll damage. As you come back, swinging.
Plus 5.
Yeah, that's right.
6.
6. Cool. A small part of its arm cracks and the arm just falls to the ground. Now, it's at this point when the other dwarf steps. Where's he going to go? He's going to come right round the other side, trapping you in between. He's going to swing, and he's going to... I'm going to use a dice I don't use because these are rolling poorly. I'm going to roll for it. 1, 2, 3. 1. That is you, Zai, again. Sorry. Comes over here. Oh! That's a nat 20.
Oh.
Okay.
One more level.
I know, right?
Okay. So
he's entirely fire damage.
Wait.
It's okay because we already beat the lava mold, so we're not going to have to fight fire things again, right?
So
Wow.
that is
Depends on whether or not I get charmed.
22. Yeah, 22 points of bludgeoning damage and 12 points of fire damage.
I'm dead.
Are you permadead?
20 HP, so he landed a second blow. That's 1 death save gone. Is it?
Oh,
Is
so the
that-
first one knocked you out?
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah.
First one knocked me out, second one death save.
You hit the ground. Smack. The second one, failed death save. Cracks upon you.
Also, the second, is that 2 failed death saves?
No, just one. Just
Okay,
one.
okay.
Because one of the damage is one attack.
Yeah.
So you're dead.
No,
I'm
he's alright.
unconscious.
He's unconscious. He needs healing. He needs
I
healing
have
badly.
2 chances in order to get back up.
No, it's not a failed death save because that's all one attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're unconscious, but you haven't failed death
Oh,
save.
I see.
Yeah.
see.
However, how much?
Which is 2 different kinds of damage.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I assumed that it was one on
No,
top of the other.
no, that's one attack. Now, what is your max hit points?
28.
What were you on when you got hit?
20.
Okay, so you're not insta-dead. If you go into the negatives
Yeah.
and go past in the negatives what your max hit points is, that's an insta-dead.
Oh, okay.
You didn't take that manage. Alright, so you guys all witness as this thing cracks into your chest and the heat just hits you so hard that you fall over backwards, unconscious. That's him, and that's this guy. He may attack you, he may not. He does not. He instead attacks you, Mr. Sparrow. He comes to swing. That's not going to hit with a nat 3, even with a +5, so that does not hit. That's him. Zeed, you're up.
Cool. I am going to pew at one that didn't take damage.
Okay.
Because that's the way I go.
Sweet, roll to hit.
So that would be the one in the middle of everyone?
This guy here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Fire burning bolt.
Yep. And that would be 9
Wait, what did you roll?
to hit.
What did you roll to hit?
That's a 16 on the dice.
Does not hit.
No. Plus 8
Oh, +8.
is 24.
Cool, that hits. I just have to be...
No, fair enough.
So, crossbow bolt sinks. Hits this guy.
Cool, and that was 9 damage.
Cool.
Second attack is 8, 9, 10, 21.
Hits, roll damage. Second one, into his chest.
Another 9.
Alright.
And last attack, pew. 14.
Does not hit.
What was the third one?
That's kind of like heat of fire. Now, Zai, I need you to make a death save.
Yep, what am I rolling again?
So it's just a straight d20. On a 10 or more, it's a success. On a
Yeah.
1, it's 2 failures.
So it's like 45% chance.
Modified 20, so yeah.
That's 1 save. That's 1 successful save. Dain,
Not
you're up.
That's basically what it sounds
Oh, okay,
like.
it's not modified.
No.
So,
It's just a straight, no
Save
con
Yeah,
roll.
straight
save.
roll. Yeah.
okay.
No,
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
What was the...
15.
It's only got
Okay,
3.
one success.
It's succeeded.
Yep.
I'm gonna run over and-
Nice. Oh,
Plus
yeah.
4 in con. Plus 4
Yeah.
in crit.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I'll pump a hit point into you.
'Kay.
No, I'll be generous. I'll give you 5.
Lay on
So-
hands is the best. I love it.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a paladin.
He's just 1 hit point.
And you're actually within 5 feet, so you don't even have to move.
Yeah, I would, but even just being near the fire dudes will take you back out.
Yeah,
no,
fair
it's
enough.
only when you pit them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then you get 1 hit point.
Okay.
Thanks for that,
You
DM.
just zap him alive.
So essentially, he reaches across, and this like white light, this white golden light, the light of the one true king, just ripples through your body, and your eyes just blink, 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 and you're staring at this horrible, formless, dark, brooding sky above you as rain pelts, and occasionally you see snakes falling as well, and you back to life.
Yeah, bask in the stingy radiance.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to do, Dain?
I cannot do very much after
Okay.
having done that.
So this guy is now. I'm gonna roll for it. Going to attack Mr. Hygun. That's gonna hit with a 21.
Racist.
Okay. So that is 1d8. Let's do this.
It's not you, it's me.
10 and what is it? So it's 1. That's 17 points of damage.
It's just my fault.
As this thing cracks into you. You are fairly tanked, so you kind of just stand there as it hits, and you feel like muscles being bruised. Maybe some internal injuries, you're not too sure, but you're still standing, I imagine, after that. That is him. Now you're up, Mr. Hygun.
Which of the 3 is attacking me?
This one here.
Yeah, I mean,
Is he the one in the best state?
Yes. Yes, he is. Well, he's
Right.
tied with someone else, but yes.
I'm gonna go in and smash this guy.
So essentially, after just being struck across, you pull out your weapon and you turn in kind. Well
Yeah,
done.
my battle axe, not the light hammer. Let's
Yeah.
do this properly. Right, that's... Oh wait, 24?
That hits, roll damage. Oof, the great axe comes swinging down on this guy.
Plus 6.
6. And you've got an extra attack because you're a fighter.
Same.
Roll the hit.
Yeah, yeah,
No, 18.
That hits it good as well. So essentially, you carve across, and metal on metal, you dig it into its form, and just cut down this thing, and it just kind of looks, and you bring it back, swinging once more, and
8.
this time you catch it across the neck, and its head just splits and topples dead. One down. All right, one down. One
I'll
down.
teach you to mess with a dwarf.
This guy here is now going to
You mess with the wizards.
1, 2, 3. Again, sorry, Hygun, he's attacking you. That's in that 1, so
The
nowhere
dice
near.
is the
He
racist.
swings.
I think the
That's-
DM is the racist one.
He's the only one to do it. I'm not.
I should.
Look him on so that people can see he's not cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all good. Now this guy's going to attack, and
I
he
mean,
is
it's a
going to
D4.
attack.
They are.
1, 2. That's Zai. So you're prone, so he gets advantage.
Yep.
That is not going to hit with a 3 and a 4. Okay, that
Just
means
admit you're
Zeed.
laying on the ground.
Well,
Zeed.
I'm just,
Back to me. All right. Let's do
he
this.
swings it down. I feel what's a little bit
Where's my
closer.
D20? There's my
Too
D20.
cold.
All right. 3 at the one that I already attacked, the corner one.
This one.
That one.
Cool, roll to hit.
I mean, it's corner for me. Probably not corner for you. That is a 26.
Hits, roll damage. Another crossbow bolt sails out of the darkness.
8 damage.
Sinks right into him. Right, sweet. Yep, go.
Second attack. 18.
That hits, roll damage. Second bolt right into the same spot.
9 damage.
And as that hits, the second bolt, you see they just kind of burn and sink right in through, and kind of turns and takes a few steps, and just slowly, just from the pain, just peels and bits of him just fall, globs of metal as he disintegrates, dead, gone. One left.
Nice. Bonus attack on that one.
Sweet, roll hit.
23.
That hits, roll damage.
6.
Right, second
Done.
bolt sinks into this guy's forehead, right through, and fuck, hits the ground, dead. You're out of combat.
Shit. All right.
I'm still on the ground. You know, just
Three
Alright,
attacks At least aren't you're still broken. alive.
you've
at
survived.
least I'm surviving. Yeah.
You're good. All he needs to do
You didn't
is
exactly pull your weight though.
I'll stand up and go.
He
"Oh,
does
thanks
fire
for that."
damage. We were ready for a fight against the giant ice thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we were meant to fight. We were meant to be heading towards the other Lord of Violence, which is cold or ice based, and I only deal fire damage. I'm like meant to be the embodiment of the Phoenix.
Right.
Yeah.
Meant to be. What?
So, the rest of the Aza surrounding you guys, going about their business still, but as 3 of them have died, they're still waiting to take orders from someone higher, but you notice that all of them are just watching you. They're still kind of doing their thing, but all their
Yeah.
eyes are just on the party.
And shall I try the same trick again, boys?
No, just take one.
Well, then who's gonna push it through?
He can.
and take all the fire damage.
He doesn't need to. He just pushes, does a running jump. Or we just put it on top of the firewall. How wide is the firewall?
Okay, well,
It's fucking
alright.
fire.
Gate is here, cart is here, I'm behind the gate, and behind the cart. I push it, and I jump in.
Yeah.
We can give it a go. I hope we don't get stuck.
Same. Well, I mean, like,
I mean, we can try push it through, see how much fire it blocks, and see if we can get through just by blocking it.
how
with the...
do we know how wide the fire gate is?
No, that's what I'm saying. We test it out.
It's about 5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
5 feet, and the trolley's
Alright.
about 5 feet.
Well, give it a go.
Yeah.
How heavy are the carts?
Very heavy, but I'm very
Do you
strong.
think
They
you
take a
can do
strength
it?
roll to push them out.
Do you think you can do it?
Yeah,
All right.
let's do it.
Okay. So as they all just watch, you essentially just step forward, go to grab a cart, and go to push it away. I need a straight deception roll. DC 6.
Oh,
DC 6.
what is it? Oh,
Deception.
so 16.
Alright.
Yeah.
Essentially, you go with the premise of this is how I get into places. Just confidence. You just kind of stroll up, you just grab it, just like, yep. As they all watch you, you're just like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And they don't question it, they just go back to their business. You've now got a cart from the Azes.
You're welcome.
I assume you get the hell out of there. Roll
Do
straight
you
strength.
want to push your luck and get that?
Well,
get that
he's
second
pushing the
card?
cart. I'll push
14.
the
And as you strain against the ground, it's kind of like thick and mushy, it's hard to get, but essentially you manage to push this heavy high-end cart back towards the gate. As you approach, you see 2 ogres, again, on patrol. They don't seem to notice you. You don't even need to roll that. They're essentially just going in a circle, waiting till someone crosses their path. You make your way back to the Grim Gate. The heat of the fire is intense as you approach. The 2 dogs are snapping and barking. What are you guys doing?
Do I understand the dogs? Or they just mumble?
Do you have beast speech?
They
I thought he said. Oh, okay. No. Yep.
no, that's snapping and snarling.
Oh, okay.
Oh no. I was like implying that
Yeah,
their
yeah.
master probably would have shouted at them and then.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Have the dogs been snapping the whole time?
Pretty much.
So it doesn't matter, it's not going to draw any attention to us. They've been doing it the whole time anyway. We don't have to kill the dogs. I could kill them with a hammer.
Nah, let's just jump in the cart. Give it a go.
Okay. You guys, so you put, so you 3 inside the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. All right. First we're going to try and just sort of push it slightly into the fire. The handle's still being able to hold on to. See how far in it gets without going fully in.
Okay.
And see if it can like
Nah.
break the firewall.
I reckon
We just do it.
we just do it. We
All
run
right.
and jump in because otherwise the gargoyles are going to see us.
Oh
and
no,
make
fair enough. All right, run and jump. You think
You
you're
good
able
with
to
that?
pull it off?
Yeah.
Okay, straight to start this with. Roll as you just push this heavy thing as hard as you can.
Shit. 13.
Okay, you get it up to the gate, at which point the gargoyles just turn. Watch all of you. Claws, and they kind of stand from their precipice and both step down. You've got 1 chance to say something before they attack.
Do they speak? Do we know what they speak?
Give me a sec. Roll history.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's a
Hey.
9.
19.
What do you roll?
History.
History. No.
They speak a language called Tehran, which none of you speak.
Right? Should we just push on through and hopefully they don't chase us?
I've got a free language spot.
Should we just?
You
Should
have
we
one
just?
Earth Elemental friend.
I don't think it works like that.
Nah. Should we just push through and hopefully they don't stop us? We hopefully can get through before them.
Yeah, we're just on confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone make a dex save as you push your way through.
What is that?
So adding.
Oh, right.
That's
15.
a
12.
17.
That was 11.
Okay, so they both roll attacks. They both roll a 3 and a 4.
Oh.
And your dex saves are enough that as these claws and teeth gnash at you, you just kind of snap into action and push through the gate. As you do, you all take 9 points of fire damage.
Ooh, those of us on 1 health.
Are we? Wait, were we in the carts?
Yeah.
Or-
Was
we
I in
take,
the car?
as we're in the carts.
I mean, that's a lessened
Yeah.
fire damage,
Yeah.
but
fair
it's
enough.
still what you take.
And I'm unconscious again.
As you push through the other side, you just notice that he is.
So it's 9.
Yeah.
9 damage.
Yeah. You're on the other side. Now this time, the ones who are conscious, you hear another patrol. This time it's not ogres. This time it is these two orcish looking creatures with dark brown skin, like horrible skin. Very, very dense. Thick, matted hair, like these black dreadlocks across their face. Bare shirt, massive muscles. Instead of walking, they are sprinting at full speed, just swinging weapons in a patrol as they come racing past. And disappear around. They're coming back in a certain amount of time. You guys notice
We could have been pit fighting by now.
one of your party is unconscious.
Yeah, I'll shoot
Well, I mean,
10
we can
health.
shoot him up with another one.
I'm going to do 10.
10.
That's
Oof.
potentially a hit with.
So generous.
Essentially,
Yes,
Dain's
genuinely.
Paladin hand hits your chest, and woof, you're filled with this lightning. Awake, skin kind of burnt, but on the other side
Oh no, not again.
of the grim gate,
Yeah.
the sound of footfalls comes round once more. These guys are running at high speed. What are you guys doing?
What are they running at?
They're running in a patrol, around and around tirelessly until they fall.
What are the Asgame doing? What are the name of the Asga?
Oh,
What
the
are
Azers?
Azes, yeah.
So they are pushing their way through.
Perfect.
They're heading through the centre, directly up to the grand gates at the base of the obelisk. And occasionally, as the carts approach, the doors open, they're pushed through, and the doors close.
Should we just keep following the line? Confidence is key?
Yeah, but try and time it so we don't get caught by the.
Yeah. Well, I could try to hopefully convince a few of them to push us, seeing that they did see us kill their friends, essentially.
Are these the same orcs as the one on the other side?
Sorry?
Are they the same as the ones on the other side? Like the same type?
Yeah.
So they're all like...
They're all just like fire rock things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going about their business. However, the berserkers are coming around once more. Great footfalls. Everyone roll straight deception.
2.
That's an 8.
They run. They see you. They stop in their tracks. They scan around. They turn to each other. Intruders! They turn. They run towards the obelisk in the centre. They run up to the gates at high speed. That's where we're going to leave tonight's game.
Oh boy.
As the party makes their way through the grim gate, through the eternity storm,
Oh, God.
into the kingdom of Nemisae, the Dragon Rider, in a pocket dimension, a prime material plane, split from two of the members with a dwarven fighter who they met in Black Steel Castle. Black Winter Castle, also known as the City of Perfect Gold.
I like you change it so you remember, but you
I
can't
still
remember.
mess it up. So, well, thank you for playing with us tonight.
Thank you for
Alexander.
having me.
No, we're more than happy to. And remember, he's got a show tomorrow at Fat Angel called Fat Comedy. If you're in Wellington, go check it out. It's 6:30 to 8:30. It'll be really wonderful. So go down there if you can.
How much do they cost?
15.
I doubt it.
Huh?
You can make that in half an hour playing poker with me.
Well, I mean,
Hint.
if you want to sit down, we can do it on dice roll right now.
No. So, I don't rely on this. Thank you very much. More than welcome to join us again next week if you wish to. Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
come on, you have to finish it with us.
I do kind of want to finish it.
Excellent. Well,
Good.
all right, come along next week. Awesome. Done.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Anyone that I should give shouts out to, Jet Dave?
Just everyone in chat. There's been a lot of people there, and it's been really
Yeah.
great.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being along with us in chat. Hi to all you guys out there in the
Like
cybersphere.
skimpy satchels.
Skimpy Satchels. I remember you. You're one of our followers. Oh, that's awesome. Great to see you along. We are the D20 Multiverse. We're Nerds of Power. This game, Black Winter Nights.
You remembered it.
This game, Black Winter Nights, will continue same time next week with Orthanc and Gorstag, the two members of the party who had been split through the teleportation spell. We'll see if the party can rejoin. And Alexander Sparrow hopefully will be returning to continue playing Hygun Blackhammer, the
Oof.
dwarven fighter who went from besting contestants in a test of strength all the way through to a demonic demiplane of great evil.
No, not rags to riches. More like riches to rags. 500 gold in one fight.
Yeah.
Oh man.
When you're approached in a bar and someone asks, do you want to take part in a demonic ritual? The answer is no.
Yeah, just going forward. And that goes for you guys out there as well. However, we've had great pleasure bringing this to you. Thanks for liking our content, subscribing, and in 1, 2, 3 days we live stream our other game set in the same continent, Ucast, called Eyes of Elisia. So, if that's all we're doing, thanks so much for watching, and same time next week for more. From myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and my lovely players and our lovely guest player, we bid you good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world.
I just wanted to be involved.
Now that's on the internet forever.
Just a cheeky